What's up? What's up? Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. Light up that chat. Look what you guys are doing. You're smoking out my room. Welcome back, Joshua, Alex. Good to see you. LFG, I agree. Joshua, Duros, Dion, Elvis Presley himself in the flesh. Good to have you guys. Welcome back, everybody, to day 3 of the Crush Your Commission workshop. Drop day 3 in the chat if you're ready for another day of mastery. We're going to finish strong today. I'm still in the right room. This is great. Let's kick things off. Drop one word in the chat. How's everybody feeling after yesterday? How are you guys feeling? I'm pumped. I'm energized, especially after going through all your amazing homework. I'm so touched by everybody going through and, sharing their thoughts, sharing their takeaways, doing the assessment, but just really seeing you all break the mold over the past 3 days, which is what this is really about. It's breaking that mold that has held you stuck. Look, excited, pumped. Day 3, yes, I'm energized. I even saw one person say in the WAP community, they said, I finally have my drive back for sales. Did anybody else feel like that over the past 2 days, getting your drive back for sales, getting your drive back for what's actually possible? This is why we do what we do. Now, who did their homework, by the way? Did anybody do their homework? Because today I'm announcing something. I'm announcing something special. One lucky person, we're going to be announcing maybe in an hour, 90 minutes or so, we're announcing the winner for the Rolex Date Just with box and papers. So if you did your homework, you're in the running for that. So many of you did that. In case you missed it as well, my name's Anthony Bizzari. I'm the Senior Vice President at 7th Level. And as I said yesterday, it's been an absolute honor to be your co-host here alongside the man, the myth, Jeremy Miner, because like I told you yesterday, back in 2020, I was literally sitting where you all are right now. And I vividly remember hitting that moment where I said, you know what? Enough is enough. I knew I was meant for more, and I didn't like the way I was selling. Has anybody feel like that before? Where you're selling in a way that feels a little incongruent with who you are as a person? That was me. I didn't want to have to push people or box people into a sale. I just didn't feel good because I genuinely care for people. The same way I know you genuinely care for your prospects. That's why you're here committing to mastery. And that's when I made a decision to commit and learn from the man that got to the top 0.00001% in all the industries he sold in, because he's been in the trenches. So I know what it's like to be hungry for change. I've seen that. I've felt that. And I can see that in every single one of you. So one more time, give yourself a massive round of applause for showing up, especially for day 3 on a Thursday, the 26th of February. Well done. Well done. Now, really, really important. I want to congratulate the 268 people who committed to mastery in the past 12 hours and joined our mastery training programs. Can we give them all a massive round of applause? Let's go. Massive round of applause. Well done. If you were the type of person that committed to mastery, say I did in the chat. If you committed to mastery and joined one of our advanced mastery trainings in the past 12 hours since we saw you last, type I did in the chat. Type I did in the chat. Look at this. Robert, well done. Kyle, yes. Patrick, Beverly, Aman, Nathan, Michael Johnson, Anthony Gonzalez. Cool name, man. And remember what I shared on day 1. Remember that video I shared up on stage? People don't believe what they say they believe. They only believe what they do. So all of you that just commented I did, the 268 people that committed to mastery, well done. You believe what you do. You did the thing. And that's congruency as a sales rep doing what we say we're going to do. So well done. We look forward to serving you over the next 12 months in our trainings. Well done. Congratulations. Now, today, what are we doing? We're going deeper today, even deeper. 2.5 hours. Block it out. I spoke to Jeremy. We said, hey, we're training for an extra 30 minutes today. Are you guys going to get mad at us if we train you for an extra 30 minutes today? We got so much to go through. We got role plays. You're not going to get angry at us, are you? You better not. Could be trouble. Who's going to stay to the end? Type me in the chat. Because remember, I'm giving away the Rolex and you have to be here live in order to win that. And right at the end, me and Jeremy are going to stay for a Q&A. So there were about, I don't know, 300 or 400 people yesterday that stayed for about 3.5 hours. I think we nearly got to 4 hours yesterday. And because they stayed to the end, they got to ask me and Jeremy whatever question they wanted. So make sure you stay to the end if you've got some questions that you want to ask us, because we're going to answer them for you. Who would like to ask me and Jeremy a question at the end of today? Who would like to ask that? Type me in the chat. Yeah? All right. You better stay to the end. One of you might get a nice little rollie as well for being here. Let me ask you a question before I bring Jeremy Minor out as well. Does anybody know Steph Curry, the basketballer? Who knows the NBA basketballer Steph Curry? The greatest three-point shooter of all time. That's what he's known as. This guy makes it look so easy. He doesn't even, I watch him play. He doesn't even wait to see if the ball goes in. He just turns, he shoots, he turns around, and boom, 3 points. And the crowd goes insane. He makes it look effortless. You guys know what I'm talking about if you've seen him play. Now, the question I had is, where does that come from? Where does that identity that when he shoots, it goes in, that he sinks it? Where does that identity come from? Where does that certainty come from? And let me tell you, because I figured it out. Let me show you this. So Steph Curry, he makes 500 shots a day, 7 days a week, every single week, including the off season in practice. That means he does 3,500 shots a week, which is 168,000 shots a year. If you just take his NBA career, which is 16 seasons, that means he has had a little under 2.7 million practice shots. 2.7 million practice shots so that, hear me out here, so that he can make 4,058 three-point goals in his career. In other words, Steph Curry, 99.99% of all the shots he took were in practice so that he would be rewarded in public. Why does he do that? Why does he do that? Because of the 4,058 three-pointers, that made him the greatest three-point shooter of all time. All of the practice shots, so he can do 0.1% of the practice shots in the real season because he's committed to mastery. So everybody write this down. Grab your pen. Everyone grab your pen and write down. We are rewarded in public for what we practice intensely in private. We are rewarded in public for what we practice intensely in private. Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? That's why we're giving you some of the tools here, but you need to immerse yourself in the training to get it into your body and into your brain. Because would a winger or a dabbler or a know-it-aller get the same results as Steph Curry? Of course they wouldn't. It's not just enough to understand. You guys have to condition this. That's why we immersed you over the past 3 days, but that's not enough. Remember, that is not enough. So that's why he's got the identity of who he is. So as I bring out Jeremy, if you're not where you want to be in sales, in life, in your business, in your relationships, it's not because the economy's against you. It's not because your leads are bad. It's not because you don't have time. It's not because you don't have access to the information or the resources. It's not because you can't. These are just stories you're telling yourself in your brain. The truth is, you just haven't acquired the mastery you need. It's obvious. Mastery is not handed to the lucky. It's not even naturally gifted. It's earned in the repetition of the fundamentals. Every champion sales pro you admire has built their edge in private, running the reps until every word sounds seamless. You heard from a few of them over the past few days. You're about to hear from a few more. So if you are ready for day 3, give me a I'm ready in the chat, because today we are taking things to a whole new level. So let me welcome the man himself who lives this. He breathes this. He is the purest example of practicing in private to get rewarded in public. Is the purest example of this. He's the reason hundreds of thousands of people have completely transformed how they sell. He's the creator of NEPQ. He is my mentor. He is my friend, and he is the greatest sales trainer on planet Earth. So if you're ready, he is Jeremy in the chat as I welcome to the stage for day 3, Jeremy Minor. Give it up to Jeremy, everybody. Give it up.
What's up, dog?
The J Dog himself. What's crack-a-lackin',
What's
big
up,
man?
brother? How's it going, man? How's it
Dude,
going?
I'm
Let's.
I'm doing good, man. I'm ready
Uh,
to take things to a new level. This audience is the most engaged I've ever seen.
everybody ready for today? Type in me if you're the type of person that's ready for today, because day three is what we're going to bring. We got about 3 or 4 different role plays, and here's the thing. I think all of you know by now that to master selling, or I would say, dare I say, to master anything in life, we have to have a what? A step-by-step plan taught by someone who's what? Already mastered themselves. Yes or no? We all know that, right? Yes or no in the chat. I mean, we all know this, right? Because here's the thing. You know, and I know each of you know somebody out there that lets some little thing come up, like a little trial or something happens and they're afraid to commit. And we all know that people who don't commit are never successful in sales or anything. And you guys have seen that before, haven't you? Type in me if you've seen that before, okay? Now, why do I say that? Why is this so critical for you guys to understand? Remember, we talked about this on day one. The brain often comes up with reasons not to do something when we know deep down inside it's exactly what we should do. And remember, the brain was never designed for us to thrive. It was simply designed for us to survive, to keep us safe. So anything, anytime a prospect or even ourselves, we have an opportunity to move forward, it can be seen as a threat by the brain. The mind always plays tricks on us like that, doesn't it? Because here's the thing, and I always say this, it's pretty obvious. It's not like it's wrong or it's something we shouldn't do. Like, is it wrong for us to commit to mastery? Is it wrong to get the plan that helps us sell more? Probably not, right? I mean, we all know that would make sense to do so we could earn more, right? Because the more we sell, the more we what? The more we force our companies to pay us, right? But here's the thing, it's just something new, which means you've never done it before. So it's like the brain's last attempt to keep you safe, to keep you in the status quo, just like everyone else out there. But I don't believe you came here for that. I don't believe that's what you want. Because what's on the other side of change? What's on the other side of change? Everything you've ever wanted, right? The number you wrote down on your paper. Remember that number that we wrote down on our papers yesterday? So here's the question that Anthony and I have for you today. Do we have your permission to help you understand maybe what's in you, your patterns that might be holding you back from mastering this thing? Because where have your patterns gotten you financially in your life? Have you noticed some patterns you've got in your life that maybe are not serving you, that maybe are costing you to lose sales? Now, why is that so critical for you on this last day of the challenge? Because if we don't learn how to, now listen to me, people. Listen to this. If we don't learn how to overcome our own patterns, our own limiting beliefs that hold us back from doing something that we know we should do, how will we ever be able to help our prospects overcome their patterns, their limiting beliefs that hold them back from buying from you? We first have to learn how to do that to ourselves, don't we? Because remember, if they don't buy from you, did you really help them? No, we didn't offer them any value. We didn't solve their problems. So I want you to type in mastery if you're the type of person who's not going to let the mind play tricks on you to hold you back today. So type in mastery if you're not going to let the mind play tricks on you and hold you back today. Okay. And Anthony, I mean, I think it's awesome. We have 268 people that came in yesterday, like in the last 24 hours, whenever it was 18 hours, 12, 14 hours, whatever it was. 268 people committed to mastery. That is amazing. There was like 1,100 people on here or something yesterday. Got into our level 2 mastery training program, which here's the thing, crazy idea, helps us sell more, right? And I want to do this before I get into training, because I've saved the best stuff for last. I want to hear from at least one person that got into the mastery training program, either from last night or today. Can we make that happen? Can we make that happen? Can we pull somebody up?
I believe we can. So if you committed to mastery in the past 12 hours, either today or yesterday, comment I did in the chat. Comment I did in the chat. The team are going to pull you to the backstage. And once they do that, you're going to see this on screen. Press the blue button. We'll test your camera mic and you'll come back in a couple of minutes and chat with Jeremy.
Yeah. because I want to ask them why they did that. I want to ask them why they did that. So remember the question I asked you on day one. We're going to start right here. Day one, let's go to 30% slide on that one. So day one, remember I'm going to ask you every day, is selling something, and I want you to think about this, is selling something you do to people, or is selling something you do for people? Are you doing it to them, or are you doing it for them to solve their problems and get them where they want? Okay, you guys get this now. I think you guys understand. Selling is something you're doing for people. And remember the 4 types of salespeople. We went over this. Let's make that a bigger slide. 4 types of salespeople. Remember where you are compared to where you want to be. Remember the wingers. They wing everything. Remember what we talked about. They say something different to every prospect. They don't really know what works. They don't know what doesn't work. When they don't make many sales, who do they typically blame? Let me know in the chats. Who do they typically blame? Do they ever blame their lack of skill level, or do they blame the prospect? The leads are broke. My leads have, they don't have a great mindset. They don't have any money. They never blame their lack of skill level. And where do most of these salespeople go? They get fired. If they're the business owner and their teams don't learn how to sell those skills, they typically go under. That's the winger. Remember the second type. That's the dabbler. Remember we talked about this yesterday. They buy a few sales books a year. Maybe they attend like a free event like this, or they buy some cheap course that teaches them some stuff, or maybe they even follow me or somebody on Instagram or YouTube or LinkedIn. They watch those 60-second basic reels. And unfortunately for them, they get caught in society's lie, and they believe the lie that if they just stay in long enough, if they just get enough reps, that eventually, hopefully one day they'll figure it out, which we all know that strategy is not a strategy. It would take years, if not decades. Most salespeople are here, and that's why they're average. If they ever get halfway good, it's because they're forced to play the numbers game. They have to work 10, 12, 13, 14 hours a day, and they eventually go where they burn out. That's the dabbler. Remember the third type, the know-it-aller. What did they do? They originally invested some funding in sales training because they're smart. They wanted to get good. They got up to 6 figures a year. Maybe they got up to multiple 6 figures a year as a rep, maybe even 3 or 4 or 500 grand. And then what typically sets in? We get a big what? We get a big ego, right? You ever seen that? Big ego, a big head. Think we know everything there is to know. We stop investing in our skill level, and our income gets where? It gets capped. That's the know-it-aller. And then remember, we have those who are committed to mastery. Remember the smart, the 1%. They always invest in their funding because they know they don't want to learn from their mistakes. That takes too long. They want to learn from other people's mistakes so they don't what? Make the same mistakes themselves. That's why their learning curve is so quick. They want success now, not months or years down the road. And here's the kicker. They know that training is not something you did in the past. Training is something what? That we do daily from somebody who's mastered it if we want to be in the top. This is how they get in the top 1%, or they get higher than the top 1%. Now I want you to type in me if you're finally ready to commit to mastery today. All right. All right. I think we're all there. All right, good. Okay. Let's bring up somebody. I want to hear from somebody that just committed to mastery, got to our mastery program.
We have somebody, Tyler Bird. Everybody give it up for Tyler Bird.
Tyler, what's up, big guy?
Hey, Jeremy, how you doing?
Just having some fun, man. Okay, so you got to tell me, where do you live and what do you sell, my friend?
I'm in Bixby, Oklahoma, and I sell roofs.
Okay, roofing. It's probably one of the top 15 industries we train, so well done. Okay, so before you committed to mastery, you got into our mastery program, level 2 certification. Would you say you're a winger, dabbler, or a know-it-aller?
Well, the first day when you asked that question, I was like, I think I'm a dabbler, and then by the end of it, I kind of started to think I was a know-it-all because I've been kind of stuck at the same plateau for years now. And I guess I'm a know-it-all, Jeremy, and I don't want to be that anymore.
Well, hey, you did well. So what caused you to be like, you know what, I got to commit to mastery, and people don't believe what they say. We only believe what we do. So what caused you to be like, hey, if I'm going to commit to mastery, I probably need a plan on how to do that. I probably need to be taught by somebody who's mastered it. What caused you to start to, hey, I got to change. I got to do this.
I've had some significant things in my life that I've had to make some changes on, and I had to have other people help me and some mentors to help me through that. So when you made those points, I just connected with that, and it made perfect sense because I don't have it all figured out,
Yeah.
And if I'm willing to be humble enough to say that, I think that there's a chance I can make some changes there.
Well, I think you're smart, man. You're smart because here's the thing. Like, can you imagine, we talked about two paths that anybody could go down tomorrow. I said, the first path is we could finish the 3 days and we don't invest in our skill level. So can you imagine at the end of day 3, you're sitting here, you go to bed that night, you realize you got some good details, right? All we could do in 3 days, but you start to realize you don't have a step-by-step plan when you wake up the next morning. You're not going to be trained by someone who's mastered this. What would go on in your mind if you didn't do that?
Probably some guilt and some anxiety, knowing I made the wrong decision.
Yeah.
Because I would have probably felt like I had an opportunity sitting right there in front of me, and I was too scared to take it.
Yeah, it's the brain's last attempt to keep us safe, to keep us in the status quo, like everybody else out there, like I said. So what caused you to feel like, I'm not going to let the brain play tricks on me this time?
I guess just, believing in this program. And I felt like the last 2 days was a lot of stuff that opened my eyes and maybe want to know more and learn more.
Good. And we haven't even given you any roofing specific examples, which is a huge industry we train, right? It's one of the biggest, one of the top 15. What went through your mind though? Like, you woke up this morning knowing that you had a step-by-step plan. Like, when you woke up, like, hey, I've got this plan. I can log in right now. I can see it. I'm going to be trained for the next 12 months. What went through your mind?
Definitely some peace. I felt like there was a clear path. Obviously, got to commit to it and stay on top of it. But I mean, there was a roadmap there, and there was a vision that needed to just be implemented, basically.
Yeah. Now, you said something really brilliant there. The first part of commitment to mastery is actually getting the plan, and you got to be trained by someone who's mastered it. But now we have to do what? We have to follow through. We have to get into the training portals. We actually have to follow what we show you how to do. We got to show up. That's really what commitment to mastery is. It's not just getting into the plan. It's actually following through with the plan, because you have people depending on you, don't you?
Yes, sir, I do.
Who's dependent on you to master these skills?
My wife, Brittany, and my little son, Henry.
How old's your son?
He'll be 10 months old this weekend.
Dude, congratulations.
Thanks, brother.
I've got 5 kids. So
Awesome.
I got married. My first marriage, I was 21. That's what got me into sales. My little girl, Cammie, she's 25 now. And I had to drop out of baseball in college, had to get a job in sales. I was going to become a psychologist. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And the one thing that changed everything for me was just mastering the right skills. So congratulations. How many kids are you going to have?
I mean, I'd like to have 3 or 4. My wife has different ideas on that, but hopefully at least 2, God willing.
What do you want them to believe about you, Tyler?
I want them to know that I love them so much that I would push myself further than I'd ever push myself to support them in a way that God supports me, and that I could only dream of supporting another human being.
Yeah. Because we make this decision to commit to mastery, it doesn't really affect us. It really affects people that depend on us, doesn't it? Because
Absolutely.
your son, you say you get in the training, you take it seriously like our clients do, especially if you're in industry. Let's say that you triple what you're doing now. What type of life does your son start to have as he grows up?
He's got a very present father, and you can't buy time, right? So if I can get him that by not having to worry about bills and working 15 times as hard and 80 hours a week, he gets my time. And I mean, that's amazing.
And some of you on here might be thinking, and you might be looking at yourself, and when you're with your family, maybe you feel like you're not really present. Maybe you feel kind of like Tyler, that because I know I did. I know I did when I was first young, 21, trying to figure this out. I just recently been married. I felt like I really wasn't present because I was always worrying. So some of you might be feeling that way where you're always worrying about how to pay this or how to pay that, or you're worried. You go to bed Sunday night and as you go to bed, you have this feeling inside like, man, I don't want to get up on Monday. I've got to talk with more people. I'm going to get rejected. How do I make more sales? Some of you might be feeling that way. And I'm here to tell you that you don't have to feel that way anymore. Because just like any profession, once we learn the right skills, Tyler, what does that start to give us in our mind? What does that start to give us?
Confidence.
Yeah, it gives us confidence.
Belief in yourself. Yeah.
And when we have confidence, we have certainty. And we can only acquire certainty by acquiring the skills. Because we can, as you know, as all we know, we can get all pumped up every single day and beat our chest. But at the end of the day, when the prospect says hello, if we don't know what to say, if we don't know what to ask, to build that gap, to help them overcome their limited beliefs that hold them back from buying, where does our confidence go when we don't sell a lot? It goes down to where our skill level is. So our confidence level will always be at the level our skill level is. Nothing more, nothing less. So Tyler, I always say success is simply a choice, and you chose well, my friend. Congratulations. Okay.
Thanks, brother.
All right, be on
Appreciate
that training call. Be on that training call with Anthony on Tuesday next week. Well done, man. All right, congratulations, brother. Well done. Smart man. You know, Anthony, this is why we do what we do. This is why I came out of retirement back in 2020 to do this. Because what else am I going to do? This is fun. I love helping people like you guys. I love helping people. Like, I don't think there's any more, how should I say? I don't feel like there's any better feeling in life. And maybe you guys have thought about this before. There's no better feeling than being able to help somebody like solve something and get where they want to go. Is that why you guys got into what you sell? Is that why you got into sales yourself, is to really help people? Like, you want to make money, but more importantly, you want to help people get where they want to go. And it doesn't even matter what you sell. You want to help people. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Let's go to the next chart. We're ready to get into this. Today, we're going to focus, everybody pay attention. We're going to focus on what are called NEPQ solution questions. Look under stage 2. We went through connection on day 1. We gave you a few examples. Yesterday, we talked about building the gap a little bit with problem awareness, seeding doubt. Give you a few examples. Today, how do we get them to see and feel what that future looks like once the newfound problems are solved? That's future pacing. We're also going to focus on 3 areas. We're going to cover consequence questions. How many of you really want to master how to build urgency in the sale? Type in me if that's you, because we're going to teach you a little bit about consequence questions that build massive urgency, that get that prospect. Doesn't matter. Let's say if you sell to even enterprise companies and you got a year-long sales cycle. What if I suggested to you, we have clients that used to have year-long sales cycles with companies that now have 3 and 4 month sales cycles with those same companies, all because they learned how to do this? Or what if I told you, we have thousands of clients that sell to consumers as well that have a hard time. They're always chasing their prospects. They get into the mastery programs, and within a month or so, they get the prospects to chase them. They're closing in a 1-call conversation or a 1 conversation. Type in me if you want to learn how to do that. We're also going to focus on the last stage. How do we close the deal? How do we tie it up where the prospect closes themselves? That's called commitment questions. Let's take that slide down. Let's come over to the vibe board real quick. Does everybody see me over here? All right. Now I want you to pay attention. This is very important for you. Before we get into that first role play, let's go over to this right here. I want you to write this down. These are called NEPQ solution awareness questions. Now, there's 2 reasons why we ask them. We're going to focus on the second half. You want to pay attention. What does the future look and feel like? Notice I said feel like once the newfound problems and or emotional needs are solved. Now, does anybody, you might be wondering like, well, Jeremy, what I sell doesn't really solve a problem. Type in me if you're like, well, what I sell, Jeremy, doesn't really solve anything. Okay, maybe you sell like luxury cars or luxury purses or clothing. Okay, My question is, are you sure it doesn't solve anything? Because let's talk about luxury cars. Why would any human being want to spend $500,000 on a car like a Lamborghini? Right? It's not like it solves a problem unless you're like driving around a racetrack or something, the Formula One. But what if it solved an emotional need? Think about this for a second, okay? It's not like it solves any type of problem because to get from point A to point B, they could just, buy a 2004 used Honda. But what if it solved an emotional need? Because maybe as a kid in high school, maybe they were picked on or bullied. And now that they're successful, they want to show everybody else that they've arrived, that they have status, they're successful. Or maybe their dad said they would never amount to anything. And now that they're successful, they want to show dad that they have arrived, that they have more status. Or maybe they moved into a neighborhood where everybody has these nice cars and they want to keep up with the Joneses. They're solving what? An emotional need. Are you getting what I'm throwing down, my people? Okay, this is called future pacing. So I want you to write down the word future pacing. So we're going to focus on that today. We're also going to focus on, you want to pay attention to this, what are called consequence questions. These help build massive urgency. So if you're having problems with building massive urgency where the prospect keeps pushing things down the road, where they keep procrastinating, even though you know you can help them, these are here. I'm going to show you how to get the prospect to defend themselves. I'm serious. Defend themselves on why they feel they need to change. Who in here wants to master how to get a prospect to defend themselves to you on why they feel they need to change, even if you're talking to a Fortune 100 CEO? Yeah? You want to learn how to do that? What about this? Pushing their way of thinking on why they've allowed the problems to stay the same and seed doubt that they might be making a mistake without the prospect getting defensive. Is everybody ready to learn how to do that? Type in mastery. And if that's you, let's go to that next slide there. Because remember what I talked about the other day. Sigmund Freud, paraphrasing Sigmund Freud, he said, people do who they believe they are. People do who they believe they are. People always make decisions based on the identity of the person who they believe they are. Anybody ever heard of Alcoholics Anonymous? Type in me if you've ever heard of that. Anybody know the success rate of Alcoholics Anonymous? It's 5 to 10%. Now, why is it so low, even though it's a good program? Because if we sit around each day in a group in that program and say, I'm an alcoholic, 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 I've been sober for 30 years, I've been sober for 30 years, I've been sober for 30 years. What identity do we believe we still are? Tell me in the chat, people, what identity do we believe we are? An alcoholic. And what decisions do alcoholics make? They drink too much alcohol. Do you see how this works? So how do I build the prospect, you can take it down, into the identity of the person who becomes a buyer? Write that down. How do you build the prospect into the identity of the person who becomes a buyer? You guys starting to get what I'm throwing down here? Rather than qualifying the prospect because unless you're selling a $10 million solution to a homeless person, is everybody pretty much qualified to buy what you offer, even though they say they don't have the money? How many of you say you don't have the money when you know you need something, but you get shy? You have fear, so you say, we don't have the money, but you could get it if you really wanted to. Okay, all of you, right? So that would mean your prospects might be doing the same thing to you. Okay, so today we're going to have about 3 role plays. We got 3 clients we picked out from different industries, and we might even have time to craft your own consequence questions. You know what I mean?
Jay.
Oh, what's up?
Jay, I have to interrupt a second. I know I hit you up earlier this morning, but you remember how I told you we had a ton of people over the past 12 hours hitting you and I up in the WAP community. They were just privately messaging us saying, hey, what about the plan? They had a few more questions, or they were in the breakout rooms and they had a lot of questions about the plan you went over yesterday. So before we get into the first role play, can you just answer some of the questions that they wanted you to answer for them? I sent you a bunch just before to your phone.
Oh, about the plan?
About the plan,
yeah.
yeah.
You guys are killing me, man. You guys are killing me. Hold on. You guys didn't hear everything I went over in the plan yesterday?
Some people weren't even there. Some people didn't even watch the replay yesterday. So yeah, if you can just go over some of the questions everyone was asking, just
you guys are killing me. All right.
The first role play.
Well, here's what I'll do as well. The role plays, I'll just, because I've got some of the pictures of the clients that we picked. So I'll just intermingle the role plays with that. I'll just weave it in. You guys want me to show you some real life examples? So like when I go through the plan real quick, like I did yesterday, a lot of people said it helped them that I was showing like, hey, step 3, you're going to learn this. And then I showed you live with the client with the role play exactly what you would learn. Would that help you guys if I did that? If we did some of the role plays and the trainings where you guys can actually see what you're going to learn in the program? Type in me if that would help you. I can do that for you guys. Okay. All right. Let's go to this. Yeah. Okay. This side. Yeah. Let's go to that side. Okay. So here's the thing. You told me, Anthony, a lot of people are saying they want the plan, but they don't have enough time to learn how to sell more. They don't have enough time to go through the training. Maybe some of you might feel that way. Now, I want to ask you this. Would someone who's committed to mastery say that? Or would that be more someone who might be a winger or dabbler would say that? Let me know in the chat. You guys remember that exercise that Anthony did about your lack versus fortune, about all of our lacks versus fortune? What if right now your story, that belief that you don't have enough time, is that lack that's preventing you from getting your fortune? Because how much time do you feel like you need to master sales? Can anybody let me know? How much time do you need per day to master sales? Could you do 20 to 30 minutes a day? If you knew the training would help you sell more, could you do 20 to 30 minutes a day? Would it be worth it for you? And it reminds me of this client right here, because we're going to have him do a role play. I remember this guy messaging me a while ago, 70 hours a week, have to help the kids with homework at night. This is a couple years ago. Coach sports teams, like I have zero time. And I just simply asked him, like, do you have 20 to 30 minutes a day to learn how to sell more? So you don't have to keep working 70 hours a week just to get by? And I said, what do you listen when you're in your car? Just driving to work. What do you listen to? Like, what do you listen to when you're ironing your shirt for work for 5 minutes? Or when you eat your Wheaties for 8 minutes every morning? Or what do you listen to when you're at the gym? And you know what he told me? He's like, well, I listen to my favorite music. Like, I love AC/DC. Gets me pumped up. I listen to talk radio. I love the news, stuff like that. And I said, interesting. How much does those news channels and your favorite rock songs make you per month? And he said, sounds like I've got some time to master sales. Magically, he got into the program within 4 months. Look what he wrote. #1 rep in his company out of 550 reps. Before, he was right in the middle, just average. Does that answer your question about not having enough time? Type in me if you know you have 20 to 30 minutes a day. You could master sales so you could get paid more. Is that worth getting paid more than you are now because you're actually selling more? Would that be worth it? It's just like this client here, Bill. He sells windows, doors, sidings, home improvement, one of the top, 6 industries we train. And I remember he mentioned to me that he believed that since he was already the top rep in his company, he'd been selling for 25 years, the old dog. Why did he need to get into any more training? He was already at the top. Now, what story was Bill possibly telling himself? Would you say Bill was a winger, dabbler, or a know-it-aller? Let me know in the chat. Was he a winger, dabbler, or know-it-aller? Okay, you guys get this. You guys know this, a know-it-aller. Because with somebody like Michael Jordan or Steph Curry, like Anthony was talking about, or Patrick Mahomes or Serena Williams or anyone at the top of anything, would they have ever got there if they were a know-it-aller and thought they knew everything? Unlikely, right? They were what? They were committed to mastery. Because what does the person who commits to mastery do every day? Do they believe that training is something that they just did in the past and they're good forever? Or do they believe that training is something they do daily because they know to get to the top or even stay at the top, they have to train daily? Which one? Did in the past, or they need to do it daily to always improve? Training is something always we do, right? We never do it in the past. Yes or no? You guys know this. Okay. I don't even have to repeat this. Now, the plan I went over with you yesterday, remember what I told you, okay? I said yesterday, who on here was here yesterday? I said, it's going to make the dabblers feel like you won't have time to do it. It's going to make the wingers feel like you don't have the funding for it. And it's going to make the know-it-allers, it's going to make you feel defensive. And why? Because we're human and we're all afraid of what? We're afraid of change, right? Let's just be honest. But what's on the other side of change? You ever notice that you were afraid to change and then you finally did it and you went over on the other side of change and what did you find? You're like, wow, it's way better over here. Who thought? everything we've ever wanted, maybe the number you even wrote down on your paper yesterday. And here's the thing, I don't believe any of you came here just to stay at the same level you are right now. Yes or no? You guys are sorry. You want to get to a higher level. So I don't have a lot of time to spend on this. Like I said, I'm going to go through it really quickly. And then we're going to get in the training. So I'm going to remind you, we put a training program together for you. This is what our clients go through. We're going to give you access to our Mastery virtual training program. That's like a 51-hour course. Total value is $4,397. So this is going to be for you if you're the type of person that wants to master selling now today. So this is for you if you know that your time is your biggest asset and you don't want to waste months or years trying to figure this out on your own, if not decades, like most people out there who keep pushing it down the road. So we're going to give you access to all the virtual training. Like the gentleman that came up would have got that in 2 minutes. You're going to have access to this in 30 minutes from now. You can start watching me train you everything. And why is that critical for you? Because you're going to be talking to prospects as soon as tomorrow, aren't you? And this starts helping you sell more tomorrow. All right. Type in me if you know you need this. Okay. And remember, what did I say? Step one of the plan is disarming your prospect. So this is one of the biggest reasons why salespeople and companies from your industry come to us. So this is for you. If you notice your prospect, a lot of the prospects you talk to, their guard is up. Who notices that? Their guard's up. They seem defensive. When you ask questions, you notice you get a lot of surface level, generalized, vague answers. You guys notice that? So we're going to help you master the art of disarming your prospects. Remember, we showed you a few examples of tonality. Remember the tonality training we taught you a little bit on the first day, the 5 core tonalities. So I'm going to show you when to use those, why, and how to use each one of those to get the prospect's guard down. Now, if we just only trained you to master your tonality, do you feel that would at least double your sales from where you're at right now? Type in me if you know that. Like if you just master tonality from us, that's going to at least double what you're doing right now. Okay, you guys are smart. Step 2, and write this down. We're going to train you how to seed doubt. Now, why is that important? Seed doubt about your prospect in their mind about their current situation. Like I said, we showed you a few examples on day 1. And why is that important for you? Because if we don't learn how, that means your prospect feels no need to open up to you. Have you ever noticed that you don't really feel like they're telling you the whole truth? Like they're not really telling you the real situation. You just get surface level stuff. Has that happened to you before? So in this part of the training, we're going to train you how to relanguage some of the questions you're using now that are causing your prospect to stay guarded. And we're going to show you how to seed doubt in their current situation, which causes them to become open to what you're offering. Now, when they become open to what you're offering, how do they start to view you? Do you feel like they start to view you like every other salesperson out there, or do they start to more look at you as the trusted expert, the one who can actually get them where they want to be? You guys know what I'm talking about, okay? Let's go to step number 3. And I'm going to show you an example of this. Step number 3, building urgency, future pacing. So this is for you if you get a lot of objections to your prospects and you can tell they don't feel an urgency to buy. Who can tell that? They just feel no urgency. Remember what we talked about yesterday? What are the 2 biggest emotional drivers that cause a human being to want to change? Remember we talked about it, pain and the fear of future pain. So we're going to show you how to get them to emotionally want to open up to you, where they tell you what's really going and how the problems are affecting them. Okay. Now, do you guys want me to show you step 3 in action on how to do this? Because I'm going to show you how to future pace. You guys want to see this right now? Okay, Anthony, let's do this. I want to bring up the first role play. Let's bring up that first client that we're going to pick for this role play. I think is John. I think we're going to bring up John. And then while I'm talking to John here, because I'm going to ask him a few questions, what are the rules of the role play, my friend?
All right, rules of the role play. So working camera, working mic. You are not a client yet in our NEPQ Mastery 2.0 Pro or Advanced Inner Circle. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to type role play and your industry, role play and your industry. Then what's going to happen? You're going to see this box pop up, press the blue button, and let's rock and roll.
All right, perfect. All right. John, we had you out on here on one of these other times. Everybody loved you. So John, tell us, where do you live and what do you sell, my friend?
So I am a real estate wholesaler. So we work with distressed sellers. We give them cash offers and then we sell the properties on the back end. And I live in Colombia.
Colombia. So you did all virtual. They have real estate, second biggest industry training that includes real estate agents, residential, commercial, and what you do as far as investors calling distressed properties. Now, I always ask everybody, before you got into Mastery, were you a winger? dabbler, or know-it-aller? Which one?
I was a dabbler. I had a script.
You were the dabble.
Yeah, I had a script, you know. I thought I was the shit back then.
All right. So you get into mastery, and what changed for you? Obviously, everybody saw your results up there. Actually, put the results back up there. That was actually, I didn't even read those. I didn't post how much you
Jeremy,
make
we're
now
doing a lot.
because it's
We're doing a
too
lot better than that.
it's too much money. I know this is old testimony you posted. I don't like to post numbers there because it's too much. I want to give people hopes that they don't have to do anything to learn anything
Yeah.
to do that. So what changed?
Well, I went from in a bunch of debt and struggling in my business to hitting $141,000 in my first 90 days. Just from going back and reworking the leads inside of my CRM. My close rate went from 18% to 33%, and I was making offers on about 3 times more people that I couldn't even get to want to hear an offer before. So a lot changed for me.
A lot changed. And I know you even do bigger numbers than that now. Now, you told me one time
Yeah.
at a live event that you believed in this myth back in the day that selling in general is just a numbers game. So you just had to do more DAOs to figure it out. Where did that get you, that lie?
That's our industry. There's always the on to the next guys. Then that's all you hear in the wholesaling industry is like, well, you got to wait until you find the right seller, and they have to be motivated enough. And that's one of the reasons why I got myself in trouble and why I needed to do this training, was because that got me broke. Is just trying to
right.
sift through leads and get the laydowns, and it
You're
was
getting the laydowns, and now you know
Yeah.
how to build the prospect into the identity of the person who becomes the buyer. Who in here wants to learn how to build your prospects that are not qualified, supposedly, into the identity of the person who becomes a buyer? All right, all right, let's bring this person out. I think, Anthony, I think we have somebody.
Yes,
Who do we have?
give it up for Naftuli Castell, everybody.
Not dude, that's a cool name, man.
Yeah. I go by Nate to make it easier for people.
All right, Nate, you know, I always say I'm from Arkansas. We don't know how to pronounce names down there. All right,
Yeah.
Nate, what do you sell and where do you live, my friend?
I'm a real estate agent. I live in Phoenix.
Okay, well, they're residential, commercial, or what?
Residential primarily now was my focus, and then later down the road, once we get
Okay.
NEPQ mastered, we're gonna go for commercial.
Congratulations. All right, so here's what I want you to do. So in this conversation, we're not going to start at the beginning of the conversation. So you've already got John's guard down. You found out what his problems are. Just tell him a problem that he has or a reason why he wants to get. Are you focused on like getting the listing, or are you focusing on selling a house right now? What do you want to focus on in the role play?
Okay. Let's say buyer client.
What's that?
Let's say buyer client. So I'm gonna sell
Okay.
a home.
Okay, perfect. So I want you to focus on the questions you typically ask that get that prospect to start to really look and feel what their future looks like once they're in that new home. Like once the problem solved, they've got the new home. What does their future look like? So that's what I want you to focus on, is that kind of the future pacing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And then how do you get him to see what the consequences are if he doesn't get this house? Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. Now, everybody type in what he does well, what he can improve on. We're going to talk about that. And Nate, we'll show you what you do well to keep doing that. And then I'll show you, John will help you with a few tweaks, and I'll show you a few tweaks if needed. Okay. That help?
Sounds
Okay.
good.
So Nate, why don't you tell John kind of what his problem is and why he's looking at this new house, and then you'll go from there.
And I understand that the area that we're looking at is not your primary area, but I just want to let you know that if you do, we saw the ideas in the home, we saw the aspects of the home.
No, just tell him like what his issue is, and then go into the
Yeah,
role
like
play.
why do I want to leave maybe I'm renting right now and I want to have a home
Yeah.
ownership, or maybe I live in a place that I don't like and I would
Does that
like to
make
get out
sense?
of it. So what problem am I dealing with?
Okay. Yeah, so I know that you're having a hard time cooking for the
No,
family, and
No.
the appliances are kind
So
of.
Nate, sorry, just
Listen.
tell John what your actual, like what his
Yeah,
problem
we're gonna
is,
role play a scenario.
then go in the role play. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It's okay.
The issue you're having is you like a certain area better than another, and I'm showing you a home in an area that's not so desirable to you.
Perfect. So get him to, we want to hear what you do to get him to look and feel what that future looks like once he's got that home. All right, let's go ahead and start. You got it.
Go ahead.
Can I
Start with
start?
what your
Okay.
first question. Yeah.
Hey, John. So about this home, we're here. Obviously, it's not the primary area looking into, but what did you think about the backyard?
Um, yeah, I mean, it was nice.
Okay. What about the backyard, is causing you to say it was nice? Was it the pool? Was it something else?
Yeah, I mean, I just like that it had some space for my son to be able to kind of run around.
Got it. So backyard space is something that's important to you. In your current home, I don't think you had that space. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, we have a backyard, but it's not as big.
Got it. Got it. Um, and then let's move into the interior of the home. What about the interior of the home either piqued your interest or, kind of turned you off?
Um, I mean, I do like the space inside the home as well. You know, I like that it's bigger.
Okay. Well, as we kind of discussed your interests and what's important to you and what's not important to you about when we were looking at homes, if you were to move past this home, how would that play in your mind, and what would that mean to you and your family? If you were to say this home is absolutely something I'd never want to see again, what would that create, and how would you feel about that?
You're saying like if I skip on this home today?
Mhm.
I mean, I guess we'd have to find another one.
Got it. That well, to get to where we are today, the fact that we got out to see this home today, how long has it been? How long have we been searching for? It hasn't been 2 days, right? It's been like 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, I think it's been longer. Yeah.
So considering the fact that you
Okay, I want to
appreciate
stop.
generally the
I want to
interior,
stop there because I want to stay. I want to stay in the future pacing and stuff there. Okay, so
Mhm.
John, what do you feel like Nate did well first? Let's talk about that.
So I guess this would be more like typically more on the front end, but when you ask me what do I like about the backyard, I like that. You could leave it a little bit more. I'll tell you what you did, what you could improve on, but I like that you were probed on what I like about the backyard.
That was good. What do you? Okay, so what do you feel like you can improve on in there?
So whenever you put words in people's mouth like that, like what did you like about the backyard? Was it the pool? Was it this? Was it that? They might just say, "Oh yeah, sure, it was that." Right? When there was that and there was the tone too with it. So, "Oh yeah, I like the backyard." "Oh really? What do you like about the backyard though?" "Huh, interesting. Why is that important to you?" "Oh yeah, because how nice is it going to be when Tommy's able to go run around the yard, he's able to play with his friends. Like,
Yeah,
can you imagine how much better that's going to be than your house now?" You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like the tone needed to be there to get me to really feel it. And so I was giving you kind of surface level answers. That's what you're going to get if you don't use the right tone.
Yeah.
mm,
Because if your tone sounds the same the entire conversation, like the monotone tonality, your prospect's brain starts to tune out. It triggers uncertainty. Does that make sense? So one
yeah,
thing I want you to be careful of, and John kind of brought it up, is be very careful of saying, what did you think about the
mm,
backyard? I don't want to really use the word think because that takes them back into what logical based thinking, right? Thinking, right? Do human beings make decisions logically or emotionally?
that's
So,
good.
so,
I
so
mean,
how,
emotion.
how do you feel about the backyard? How do you feel about the layout of the backyard? Feel. I want to keep them on the emotional side. Now, remember, am I doing that to them or am I doing that for them?
What?
I'm doing that for them to get them to open up because if I don't sell them this house, I can't really solve their problems and get them in the house they want. Okay. So I want to use that feel. Now, John is exactly right. You never want to give them the answers. Like, oh, did you like this? Yeah, we like that. They're always going to say that. So they don't really see and feel that. So if he came back or he or she, he came back and said, "Oh, I really like the swimming pool. I like this." So what do you feel like you're going to be able to do in the layout of this backyard that maybe you can't in the yard that you have now, or maybe you just can't do much of? And now John starts to see and feel you caused his mind, his brain, to start thinking about the limitations of his current backyard and what he cannot do or can't do the best at. And now this actually solves that. So now do you see he's starting to look, he's starting to see and feel that, visualizes. Everybody getting what we're throwing down here? Type in me if you understood what we just did there. Okay. And then be very careful about asking a question like, what piqued your interest or turned you off? Because you're just setting yourself up. Okay. There's no reason for you to be careful about saying interest. So you can just simply say, so what are your thoughts about what we've gone through so far? What are your thoughts about what we've gone through so far? Okay. Just, it's an easier question. Okay. And you can kind of take it from where they take it. All right. And then that consequence question, we're going to show you some different examples of how to make that stick a little more. But John, as John knows and all of our clients know, consequence questions never land if upstream in the conversation, we never built a gap from where they are to where they want to be and cause them to feel urgency. It's going to be hard for them to feel any consequence if they don't do anything. Right? And we didn't go through that role play. So we're going to show you. Does that help?
Yeah.
But hey,
Very good.
Courageous get in front of this many people to role play. So well done. Okay. Now let's have John role play on Nate. And John, why don't you tell kind of Nate what's kind of going on with the prospects you talked to?
Yeah, I mean, I could even role play your type of buyer because it is somewhat similar. But if you let's do a seller. So
let's
I
do your
typically
industry, John.
You want to do my industry? Yeah. So
Yeah.
typically I'm dealing with a seller that might be like in pre-foreclosure. You know, they're behind on their payments, their mortgage payments are too high. That's a majority. We deal with a lot of people that their house needs a lot of work. You know, they can't keep up with the maintenance anymore. They're older, things like that. Those are usually. So if you want to just be a client that, let's say that your house has a lot of deferred maintenance and you already have your eye on another place that you like better.
Does that make sense, Nate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Everybody pay attention to John's tonality, body language, and the questions he's asking to get Nate to start to see and feel what the future looks like once this problem's solved. Here we go.
Yeah. So Nate, let's say that we can help you sell the home. I mean, you're no longer having to deal with these payments. You don't have to deal with cutting the yard anymore. And you finally, you're in your dream home. I mean, what would you be looking forward to, I guess, the most about that next chapter of your life?
I mean, I'm already feeling calm about the fact that I don't have to take care of anything, but where my
Yeah.
life is at right now, I can't put in the effort to get this home where it has to be to get sold. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And with the new home, with all of that being taken care of, I mean, how's that going to feel for you knowing that you don't have to lift a finger anymore?
It'll feel it's a rewarding. It's going to be a very rewarding feeling.
Yeah. Well, look, that's my entire goal is to be able to help you get to this next chapter of your life. So walk me through how much would you feel like you would need in your pocket to put down on that next property? So that way we can get you there in the next 3 weeks.
Um, I need at least 15 to 20K probably.
15 to 20K. And is that for the down payment or what do you need that for?
Yeah, just the down payment.
Hmm. Okay, now here's my only concern because obviously, you mentioned that the house needs a lot of work, right? It needs a kitchen, it needs some repairs, and we have to do this in the next 3 weeks. I guess my only concern for you is let's say the offers come in slightly less than that, right? Instead of putting 15K in your pocket, they can put, I don't know, let's say $5,000 to $7,000 in your pocket. Instead of putting, I don't know, 15% down, we put 10% down. I mean, would that still be worth it to you knowing, hey, I'm in my dream home in the next couple of weeks. I no longer have to deal with all the maintenance that I'm dealing with now.
Yeah, but in order for it to be comfortable for me, I would I
Yeah.
mean I just logistically I would need that amount of money, the 20.
Yeah. Well, help me understand. You said yeah. Why do you feel like it might help you though?
Well, I mean, I would be in a better, position. I'd be in a better situation, to have that new home. But it's
Yeah.
just a matter of reality.
Yeah. And I guess my only concern for you is what happens if we don't sell, right? We have to stay here longer. You have to continue to deal with the maintenance. The house gets in even worse condition because no one's taking care of it. And you have to push off getting in your dream home for another, God forbid, 6, 12, maybe even 24 months.
Yeah, it's true. But at the same time, potentially within the next 12 months, I'll have that money that I could use towards that down payment, and I'll be able to do it in a comfortable way.
Yeah. And don't worry, my entire job here is to make sure that you're comfortable. If we can't make sure that you're comfortable, we're not going to do this. But would you want to push off getting to that dream home for another 12 to 24 months if you didn't have to?
No, absolutely. I just feel right now that I have to because, I mean,
Yeah.
I've gone through all my assets, all my resources, family, friends. I just don't have the money, you
Yeah,
know?
well, we'll break that down because we can work with you on the back end to make sure that you get a good deal on that next property. But as long as we can get you enough money to put down on that next property, do you see how this puts you in a much better position knowing you don't have to deal with the maintenance anymore? You don't have to deal with any of the stress, and you're in that dream home in the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, I see the value to it for sure.
We'll pause there. That would go into
Okay.
I'm going into like price now.
Yeah. All right. So, okay. So, Nate, what do you feel like were some differences you've noticed?
For sure, tonality, um,
Sure.
confidence, knowing exactly what question he was going to ask next.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um,
And even though
and
you
there's,
kind of pushed back and stuff. Yeah. Okay, good. What else?
yeah, I feel that very strategic, and I feel the biggest takeaway was the he knew exactly where he was going with it, which is something I find myself having a lot of trouble with as a dabbler, right? Not knowing my next move, not knowing my next question. So that was a
How
huge
many
learning curve.
how many listings do you feel like you've lost because of that?
Way too many.
How many? If you
At
thought of
least
it,
every
how
person
many?
I've dialed, you know,
Yeah.
I dialed over the last 30 days around 800 people.
You
So,
feel like you've
and
lost at
only out
least
of those
three?
800,
What if I told you we have agents that get 7, 8, 9, 10 listings a month?
pretty wild.
Learning how to do that? Okay. All right, good. There's some people in the chats trying to get into the master program. Reuse the link. It was down for a couple minutes. It's up now. Somebody was asking that. Now, John, there was a lot of nuances you did. Let's talk through this. So, did everybody notice how he said so? He said so something about blah blah blah. So not being able to not being forced to keep making those large mortgage payments. Like, what would that now, John? Why would we teach you to say forced rather than like not making the payments? What's the difference in that?
Yeah, forced to feel like adds more stress of a feeling, right? Nobody wants to be forced to do anything. And so that's just the verbiage that creates an emotion.
Mhm. That makes sense, Nate? Does that help you there? Okay, so
Yeah.
there's nuances there. And did you see how much do you feel like you would need to put down on that next property? He didn't ask you how much do you want for the house because need
Mm.
is a lower amount than a want. Do you
Mm.
see the difference in that? That's very
Yeah. Yeah,
strategic.
absolutely.
John, why?
Yeah. So a lot of times, especially if you think about you're talking to a seller that wants to list their home for way too much, what happens if they want to list their house for too much? It's going to sit. You're not going to get your commission, right?
Right.
And so as long as they are anchored to the comps that sold 6 months ago or all the other homes that have sold in the area, they're going to be stuck at that number. But instead of getting them to focus on comparables and logic, you bring them back to the result of what they need to solve their problem. So our job, like as what's real estate investors, is to get them down as low as possible. So we get them to focus on how much do they need to be able to solve that problem. So in that scenario, if you're like, hey, I need $20,000, I'm going to just focus on what you actually need the money for, and I'm able to get big discounts
Yeah.
by being able to do that. Instead of saying how much do you want for it, they're going to be like, well, I want
Yeah.
as much as possible. I want what the
Yeah.
neighbor's house sold for in 2022. which you know,
without
Exactly.
they don't sell
without
for that
spending
anymore.
without spending tens of thousands of dollars in repairs. So these little shifts is
Yeah.
what we teach you in the mastery program, Nate.
Yeah.
You see the
Yeah. And
difference
I've
in that? Yeah.
absolutely, and I'm honored to say that I signed up yesterday for the mastery, and I'm
Hold
super
on.
psyched, super
We
excited.
were not supposed to have a new client on it. Congrats. You
Oh, whoops.
tricked us on that. It's okay. Okay. Well,
Well, I didn't really dabble
congratulations.
in it yet, so
Okay. So you're ready
yeah,
to commit to mastery though?
absolutely.
Because
More than committed.
getting into the training program is just the first part, as John knows. And John knows what comes next is learning the skills. And we're going to show you how to apply those skills. Right, John?
Yeah, but
Okay.
Uncle Jay's got you. You're in good hands.
There you
All
go,
right,
brother.
I'm looking
Hey,
forward.
John, enjoy Columbia. Everybody get up for Nate and John. John, thanks for volunteering to role play. And Nate,
Got you.
congratulations. Your commitment to mastery. Love you guys. See you soon.
Thank
Well
you,
done.
Jeremy.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate all that, man.
100%. Does that help everybody? All right. Here we go. Let's keep going here. We're going to move here. We got more role plays. We got more objections. Who in here has a problem with the I want to think it over objection? Because we're going to do that role play here in just a little bit. Let's go to that next slide because step number 4, we're going to teach you how to prevent objections from happening even in the prospect's mind. Now, all of us have been used to all these objection rebuttals. What if I trained you how to prevent most of those objections from happening in the prospect's mind? Type in me if you want to get to that level as a salesperson, because clients in your industry tell us step 4 on average helps them reduce objections you're getting now by 50 to 70%, 50 to 70% lower. And if you still get a few here and there, we train you how to overcome those as well. Let's go to the next slide. So like I said, step by step, there is zero guessing. It's all covered. Everything from A to Z, from the start of the conversation to the end. Doesn't matter if you sell B to C, B to B, door to door, B to G even. It's all right there. And then the second thing I'm going to give you access to, I said this yesterday, 12 months, we're going to give you access to our mastery phase calls. This is a training call every week with Anthony and I. These are all live and recorded if you missed the recorded version. So this is for you. If you're the person who hasn't mastered how to structure your sales conversation, you say something different to every prospect, and maybe you don't know what works, you don't know what doesn't work, and you just show up and say things. Maybe you've thought about that before. It's also for you if you're the type of person who's competitive and you want to get to the next level in selling so you become the best in your company and your industry. Type in me if that's you. So in the training call each week, we're going to show you examples from all industries to help you tie in NEPQ to what you sell. So when you guys were asking me questions yesterday about how will it work for what I sell, this is the training where we show you how to tie it into your industry because we train every industry in the world. Let's go to that next slide here. I don't think I need to keep showing you thousands of testimonials, do I? This is another one. Jen sold network marketing. Like I said, I could show you tens of thousands of these, okay? Here's the question I ask you. Is Jen any different than you? Does she drink water? Does she eat food? Does she have trials like you? Does she have worries in her life? Probably. So what's the one thing that separates her from you right now? She simply learned the right skills. Like she said, she's getting paid around 6 times what she was doing. Like she gets paid 6 times more because she's selling 6 times more. Who wants to master skills like this? Type in mastery if that's you, okay? So let's go to the next one. Who in here cold calls? So we're going to give you the cold calling. These are the advanced scripts. You have not seen these yet. These only come in our mastery program. We don't give these out for free. We get basic ones out for free. These scripts are for you if you cold call and you constantly get a lot of, I'm not interested. We already have somebody for that. We don't need it. We can't afford it. Is this a sales call? Or how did you get my number? Objections, and you constantly get rejected. And that kind of sucks. Type in me if that's you and you don't want to keep going through that because that would really suck. Type in me if that's you. Let's go to the next one. Who on here does outbound leads or does inbound leads? Maybe they book on your calendar. Maybe you meet them in their home or you meet them in their business. Or like I said, they're an outbound lead who responds to an ad. So this is for you. If you notice when you ask what you thought were really good questions, you notice they're not very open. You're getting a lot of generalized surface level answers. And remember, do human beings buy on logic or emotion? Logic or emotion? Which one? Logic or emotion? Emotion. So the way we stop, there's no debate in brain science. So the way we stop that is we're going to train you how to relanguage the questions you're asking now and reframe your prospects. Remember yesterday, from price or cost-based thinking to where? Remember what John said? Results-based thinking. Who knows if you had these scripts? It would, and we showed you how to use them, the tonality. It would put you far closer to that number you wrote down on your paper yesterday. Type in me if you know that. If you know that, type in me. Now, you guys want to see this in action right now? You want to see another live role play with another top 1% client? Type in me if that's you. Type in me. All right, let's bring up this other client that we brought up that volunteered. Let's go to the next slide. I think it's Jacob Griok. Jacob Griok. Am I pronouncing? Hopefully I'm pronouncing this guy's name right. Jacob Griok. How are you, big guy?
Oh, trying to be cool like you is all.
Trying to be cool. Well, congratulations on your results. I know this is my team pulled this. This is a couple of years ago. You were like #1 rookie. And what do you sell? Where do you live? What do you sell?
So Pittsburgh, PA, I do annuities, IULs.
Perfect. And I pulled this up. You became like the #1 rookie in a huge company. Now you're not a rookie. I've heard you're doing even way more than that. So congratulations.
Absolutely.
We even sent you a 7th level shirt. I love that stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Got my own team now. We're crushing.
Congratulations. Now, before you got into mastery, were you a winger, dabbler, or a know-it-all, my friend?
I was a dabbler. I was always listening to the free content, thinking I could master it, and didn't get me anywhere. I could tell you that.
You didn't quite master it. Okay. All right. So you told me one time you believed in this myth that all you needed to do in sales to be good was have a great mindset, that the skills really didn't matter. It was just your mindset. And what changed for you?
It was one of the podcasts that you had. It's like, how much money are you genuinely losing each call, each appointment, that you don't have the right process, that you don't have the right questions. And it was until I was like, holy, I'm like losing 10, 20K per month. And it wasn't until I made that switch till I committed to mastery. And a few years, I'm here now.
Who in here has maybe thought that before? You're like, man, I don't know if it's the skills. I just need to have a better mindset, which mindset is part of it. But when the prospect says hello, if we don't know what to say and ask to get their guard down, if we don't know how to build the gap with what questions and our tonality, if we don't know how to get them to see and feel what that future looks like, we lose a ton of sales, don't we? All that personal development kind of goes out the window. It's great mindset, but we also have to have the skill set. We have to have both, right? Everybody knows that. Okay, so Anthony, what are the rules of the role play? Let's go ahead and pull somebody up. I forgot to pull somebody up here.
Yep. Well, I've got someone in the chat. So if you sell life insurance and you're not a client yet, camera's working, mic's working, all of that good stuff, just type life insurance in the chat. Life insurance in the chat. We'll have someone up in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, we'll try to keep it to the same industry so they can role play here. So what part of the plan do you feel like has helped you the most get to your level that you're at now?
What helped me the most? I would say genuinely doing everything that I possibly can by going through the trainings, showing up, because a lot of people, they don't want to turn on the camera, they don't want to ask questions. So it's being uncomfortable with being uncomfortable.
Who's willing, if you knew that you could double or triple what you're doing now, who would be willing to show up and go through some training for 20 or 30 minutes today? Or even if you missed the live training, you go through the recording archives of that training if you knew it was going to get you those results. Who would be willing to do that? Maybe get a little bit uncomfortable so you could really help your family financially grow. Who would be willing to do that? You guys would be willing to do that? All right. I love that, man. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to focus, Jacob, on so I want you to start with kind of that last, because I know in your industry, we teach you how to product frame at the end of solution awareness. So I want you to start from that kind of that last part you do, like last 10, 20 seconds of solution awareness. And I want you to stroll right into that first consequence question that kind of gets that prospect to feel like, damn, the consequences if they don't do anything. That's what we're going to focus on. Do we have a client? Do we have somebody?
We do. Give it up for Mary.
All right, Mary, how's it going?
Oh my gosh, I literally, can you guys hear me?
We can hear you,
Loud
Mary.
and clear.
Perfect. I was just sitting down. I literally have to stand up for this.
I love that. All right. Well, hey, it looks like you're right there behind in front of the San Francisco Bridge. I love that. Okay, the Golden Gate. All right. So, Mary, from what I understand, you sell life insurance. Is that what
Yes,
Anthony
I
said?
do. Same thing with Jacob, life insurance, annuities.
Okay,
Let's
perfect.
go.
This is going to be a great role play. Now, everybody pay attention. Okay. So, Mary, what I want you to do, we're not going to focus on the start of the conversation or any of that. We're going to focus on what questions you're asking to get that prospect to start to feel what the consequences would be for them if they don't, change their situation with you. Does that make sense? Okay. So not to
Yes,
beat into call, or do you sell virtually? Do you sell over the phone? What do you do?
virtual, Zoom.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So
Easy.
tell Jacob, but maybe a problem that one of your last prospects have, so he'll just kind of be in that role play.
Okay. So, Jacob, annuities.
Okay.
And the problem is it was in a variable annuity. And a lot of clients as well have 401ks. So, what their problem
Mhm.
usually is that they're looking at the downside, the downturns, market crashes and stuff like that. And they're looking at retiring in like 5 to 7 years from today.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. So Jacob will
Sounds
be that person, and you go right into those questions you asked that kind of helps Jacob see and feel what could happen if he doesn't change with you. Yeah?
Certainly.
Okay, you're ready. Everybody, you're going to do well, and we'll come back. I'll show you what you do well, and then any improvements if needed. Okay? Here we go. You got it, Mary.
So, Jacob, if I may ask, if you
Mhm.
can create your ideal retirement, what it would look like? What is an ideal retirement for you?
If I could have steak and potatoes like every day, that would be ideal. Probably like 1 million liquid.
That would be amazing, right?
Yeah.
So, with your current plan, if the market crashes 20 to 30% tomorrow, how is that
Mm.
going to affect your timeline of retiring?
Probably, yeah, probably wouldn't be good.
That's right. So if I could show you a plan that you can take advantage of the upside potential of the market
Mm.
without participating in it when the market goes down, is that going to be
Mhm.
worth exploring for you?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay.
Perfect.
So then,
I want to stop right there. That's good. Okay, you did some good things there. I just want to focus on the consequence. Then you kind of went back to decision. This is actually really good. So Jacob, what do you feel like she did well?
I felt like the tone was there, in terms of exactly pacing very well.
Hmm. Yeah, that's good. What do you feel like she can improve on?
Oh, like almost assume the questions, like in terms of is like, may I ask? Just a couple of like assumptions is like, yeah, it's like could have could flare the fine line with somebody who has more money.
Because at this point, I can be far more assumptive in the conversation than I can in the beginning, right? Because now I have more
Yeah.
trust. Mary, at this
Yeah.
point, I built a gap from where they are to where they want to be. So I can be more assumptive. I can be a little bit more challenging because I built that trust. Does that make sense? The questions you have are right. I'm just going to show you how to change that just a little bit, especially with your tone. Okay. Because if I want to see doubt, what type of tone would I want to have with that consequence question? But I want to have a curious tone or more of a concerned tone, a tone that shows empathy?
concern.
Probably more concerned tone. Your tone was more curious. It's a great question though. We just have to train you how to shift your tone there. Okay.
Gotcha,
So
gotcha.
instead of saying like, what happens if the market goes down 20 to 30% tomorrow, and where would that, where would your retirement be? Which sometimes certain people, if they watch the news all the time, maybe they're like in that conspiracy theory, like, oh, it could happen. But if they don't, that might not move many people. So I
It's
can
true.
simply, so I'm going to set that up a little bit more. And I might ask, like, oh, let me role play with you, Mary, before I have Jacob role play on you. Okay. So I'm going to
Sure.
ask you this question. So, okay. So just, just so I understand, what would be like your ideal age? Like, what age do you feel like you really need to retire? Like what age do you feel like I need to retire by this age?
65, I probably would be the.
65. That's when you need to retire. Okay.
That's when I want, yes.
Okay, so let's say that we come in and we get X, and I'm not gonna go through it. We give you XYZ plan where that might be able to speed up some. We have to take a look at the options. What age would you really want to retire if you had the right plan?
62.
Why
62.
What's the difference between 62 and 65 for you?
Well, that means that I have more years that I can actually do whatever I like or spend
Yeah.
with my family or do something together.
I mean, you're 35 now. Is that like your humble goal, 62? Or what would you really want to be at if you really could? Don't tell me like 35, but what would you really want if you could?
45. That was actually my target age. But
Okay.
yes,
45 is a
if
big
I can.
difference, though. Okay.
Mhm.
What would you do with that extra 15 years?
Do the things that I love doing. I love doing ministry
Yeah.
and volunteer works. That's really what I have in my heart. Should money is not going to be in the picture, that's what I
Yeah.
would do. And family time.
Yeah. What are you not able to do right now with your family that you want to?
Yes.
What do you really want to do with them right now that you can't?
Spend time with them. Actually, I'm not even with my daughter right now. And that's what I'm trying to change.
Where's your daughter at? What's going on?
I'm from the Philippines and she's in the Philippines right now. I'm in West Virginia.
Yeah. What happens if you don't get this time back with your daughter?
It would be the most that would probably the years that I'm going to regret because she's growing right now and it's the time that she needs me the most.
Yeah.
So I need to make it happen.
Yeah. What if you don't? What if you just stay with what you have now and it doesn't happen?
I can't. There's no other way. I have to.
Time to make a change, possibly.
Absolutely.
Okay. What's the difference in what I just did? I took you down a whole completely different path.
You're trying to make me cry, but really, I see I see where you're going.
Remember, is selling something you do to people or selling something you do for people?
For people.
See, not only could we focus on the retirement and what age you want to retire and the returns and like protecting you against the market, but now we just helped Mary find a much bigger emotional need that she wants to spend the time with her daughter. That's why she wants to retire far early. Not just, you see what we're all focused on this one thing, but what if we could learn how to help the prospect find 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 other reasons or problems they need to change? How much more likely are you going to get that sale? You see the difference, Mary?
100%.
100%.
Yes, sir.
You ready to learn that? All right. So we're going to have everybody making sense what we just did there. Okay, there you go. All right, Jacob, we're going to have you role play on Mary. And I want you to kind of start at the very end of that, just kind of roll right into consequence. And what's Mary's problem? Same
I
thing?
would say you have a 401k, it's not producing. Yeah, you might be like looking into an IUL. Just a little bit different.
Sure.
Perfect. Let's
Sweet.
go there. Here we go.
Yeah. So I guess Mary, you retiring early, spending that time with the family, and you being able to want to do those things, like how long have you actually been wanting to do that?
It's been a few years now. Still trying to make it happen.
And I guess like how confident like do you feel putting your money in the 401k? Like how confident do you feel like you would actually be able to retire early?
That I am not really sure because I am afraid to look into my account and see
Oh,
that I lost
oh, how come?
because the market goes up and down.
Mm. And man, I really have enjoyed our conversation and I don't mean to offend you, but what what happens is we don't we don't do anything about this and we leave our money in our 401k and like we have another downswing like 2008, 2020. What happens then?
That means that I will not be able to retire just like those people in 2008.
Mm.
And I
Is
don't want that to happen.
Why not? Like, why don't you be like one of those people who push that can down the road like another week, month, another year goes by?
Because I don't have the time. I
Mm,
don't have the
I,
time to waste. I'm looking for a way that I can still
yeah,
look at retirement,
yeah.
spend time with my family.
Um, well, like kudos to you, because Mary, like I genuinely talk to like a lot of people, and they don't really think the way that you're thinking. So genuinely, like kudos to you. Like do you really feel like now is that time to like draw that hard line in the sand to really put yourself in retirement in a better position?
100%, yes.
All right, let's stop
So
right
what can
there.
I
Good
do?
job. Good job.
Mm.
We'll go through it more. We got so much more training. Okay, so what were some things you noticed, Mary?
I like how Jacob really get me to be thinking on the questions he's asking, and
Yeah.
his tonality,
Mhm.
his confused, like curious body
Mhm.
language and tone as
Yeah.
well.
Jacob, where did you learn how to do that? Were you born that way?
No, not at
Okay.
all. I was a electrician, guys.
Yeah. So does everybody start to understand that these are acquired skills that we train you that you have to learn if you want to get to that level? Everybody understands that, right? Because a lot of you are like, oh, Jacob's a really good actor and everything. Well, Jacob's not an actor. He's knows how to emotionally connect with the prospect because we've trained him how to do that. Remember, the number one way to influence is to master the emotional connection where that prospect feels like you understand them, their needs, their desires, their wants, even their fears, and do that without buying into their story. Most of that is your tonality and body language. A lot of it is the questions we ask. You see the difference in that, Mary? Yeah. Everybody sees
100%,
some of the
yes.
nuances. Did you see how, like, well, how confident are you that you're going to be able to retire on time? Now, if he said, hey, Mary, how confident are you that you're going to retire on time? Oh, I'm pretty confident. He said the same words. I just said the same thing, but it means something different by the way I said it. Is everybody picking up what I'm throwing down here? How confident are you that you'll be able to retire on time with that plan? See, that concerned tone, Mary, seeds doubt. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
So as we're going to train
Yes.
you guys in the mastery program, this is why our clients get those results. Mary, before you got on here, winger, dabbler, or know-it-aller?
A 100% dabbler.
Okay. Are you ready to commit to mastery?
Yes, sir.
Because what happens if you don't?
Nothing changed.
Okay. You're not going to let that happen, are you?
I won't. I have a goal
Sure.
to reach.
Okay. Get in the plan. If you want to get in the plan. Get in there. Good job.
Yes,
Well
sir.
done. Everybody give it up. Jacob, well done. Everybody get up for round
Thank
applause
you.
with Barry and Jacob. Congratulations. Good job. This is why we do what we do. I love this. Now, we're also going to give you a free assessment call. I told you I'd do this yesterday, just one time. We help you. We let you book with one of our industry specific specialists to help you find what your bottlenecks are. Because what's the biggest problem in sales? Anybody tell me what's the biggest problem in sales? Remember the problem that you don't know you have, right? Because if we don't know what our problem is, where we're losing the most sales, how do we ever change that? Because if you guys ever noticed where you're like, oh, I need to get better, and you change something, like maybe you change the opening of your conversations and your sales get worse, or you change something in the middle and you get worse, and you're like, you're kind of guessing, right? So in this assessment call, we're going to make sure you don't have to guess. So when we do the assessment call, they're going to show from the role play what you need the most help in, and they're going to point you in the right direction so you actually master that first thing you're struggling with the most. You're going to go into the training program and learn that day number one. Type in me if you know that just by having that call is going to help you sell more. Type in me if that's you. All right, perfect. Let's go to that next slide. I'm going to skip all these because we have thousands of testimonials, but this guy believed in a lie that he is in Norway, that NEPQ would never work in Norway or Europe because Americans are just different. Anybody ever have that story that it will only work in America? It will never work for my country, even though we already have clients in every country in the world. And what did he find? He got into NEPQ because it works with human behavior. We helped him make a few tweaks with the culture, And look what he said. He went from the middle of the pack. Now he's ranked the #1 salesperson in his industry in all of Norway and all of Scandinavia. Folks, are you getting this on where you can be here very, very quickly? Type in me if that's you. Now we're going to go to the next one here because this right here is something you guys have been asking us to do. So for the past 5 years, thousands of our clients have asked us. This is our brand new level 2 job placement. So we have hundreds of companies, I would say thousands now at this point, that contact us every month wanting to hire closers from all industries who are certified in NEPQ. So first time announcing 7 levels job placement. So this is for reps like you, sales managers like you, VPs of sales, chief sales officers, any position in sales, marketing, and ops. If you're looking for a career change, we probably have it. So this is for you as well. If you're brand new to sales and you're looking for the best sales jobs out there. This is also for you if maybe you're tired of the sales role you have now. And maybe you want to get into a better company in your industry. Or maybe you even want to switch industries, but you don't know where to go. This is also for you if you're a vet in sales. You've been in sales for a long time, but you want to change. And you feel like maybe you could do better in a different industry or even a better company in your industry. Type in me if that's you. It's also for you if you're happy with the company yourself, or like you're really happy, but you're also smart and you want to keep your options open in case you ever want a new job. Type in me if that's you, because who knows, if you had access to all of the employers that come to us, we're talking from small companies to mid-level, all the way to enterprise 500 and 100 companies. If you had these options, you would have much better control of your future. Type in me if you know that. Type in me if you know that. Everybody should be saying that right now for sure. And look at what this client said right here. She couldn't have said it any better. She said, as a recruiter that's talked to hundreds of business owners who are looking for sales talent, I can tell you that NEPQ sales methodology is king, and business owners are looking for closers that have mastered it. She said, if you want the best opportunities, you're going to need to learn it sooner or later. What does she say? Now, why are they looking for those who've mastered NEPQ, not dabbled in it, over any other program? I can tell you, I told you yesterday, the data tells them, the reps in their companies, we hear this all the time, who are certified in NEPQ, they're outselling the ones who are not by 2 to 1, many companies 3 to 1 over the ones who are not in NEPQ. They don't know it. They don't know well enough from dabbling. Now, I will tell you, there's a rule to this. If we have a contract with your company where we are training all of your reps, we cannot help you get placed by another company. That's a conflict of interest, obviously. Okay, you can still go through the training. You'll sell more for your company, but we can't place you if we are training your entire company already. Does that make sense? I just want to make sure you guys understand that. Okay. All right. Who in here wants access to our network of companies that are hired to looking certified reps? Type in me if that's you. Anthony, you wanted to say something. You were messaging me. What's up?
I did indeed. Well, first of all, I have to say, we have narrowed down these submissions for the Rolex.
Hold on, we have?
People. No, we're not going to announce it yet. There's about 3 people we're considering. So we're just going back, triple checking. They've done all the homework. They showed up live. They're on this call. So nobody go anywhere, because very shortly I'm about to announce the winner of the brand new Rolly. Who would like to win that? Just drop me a Rolly in the chat.
Who's going to win the Rolly? And hey, I've got one last role play I saved for the last. Who wants to learn how to tie the bow, like tie the knot on the bow and learn how to close the sale? Because our last role play is all about closing the sale as well, coming up here. So stay tuned. Anthony, I'll let you say what you're going to do. I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, I want to ask everybody a question. I love the past 3 days, guys. I just want to say how amazing all of you are. I'm seeing how much courage everybody has for volunteering to role play, and even reading your letter to yourself yesterday. I wanted to share this one thing that a mentor recently told me. A mentor of mine asked me a question once. He said, Anthony, let me ask you, what does a tree have to do to bear apples? So I'm going to ask you all the same question right now. What does a tree have to do to bear apples? Let me know down below. What do you guys feel the answer is? It's got to grow. It's got to have a Rolex, I think someone just said. Maybe. Good soil. Well, the answer is, all it has to do is be an apple tree. Think about that. See, in life, you don't get what you want. You get what you are. everything reproduces after its own kind. You're never going to see an orange growing on an apple tree, or you'll never see a pineapple growing on an orange tree. You're just not going to see that. It's not even possible. In life, you only get what you are. I want you to really think about what I'm saying here. So how many of you would like to master the skills to be able to get the results? You've seen so many people come on this very stage over the past few days and share since learning to master NEPQ. Because it's obvious this works. The debate is over. It's not even questionable, does NEPQ work? Obviously, it works for every industry. You've seen that. So how many of you would like to have the skills to not even get objections? Because I'm here to tell you, when I mastered this, I went from literally battling objections. My sales calls used to go for 90 minutes. And I used to block out 30 minutes after every call to leave my office and walk around the block to decompress. Once I learned NEPQ, my calls went for about 35 to 42 minutes max. Objection less. No objections. Who would like to learn how to do that? Type me in the chat. Type me in the chat. So you don't get what you want, you get what you are. And there's 4 categories I want to share with you that this mentor shared with me that made me really understand who I needed to be to master success. He told me, number 1, the first category of people are what we call free pool people. Free pool people. You know who the free pool people are, don't you? I know you've got prospects that are free pool people. These are people that want everything in life for free. See, they're the wingers who just wing everything. But if you're a free pool person, you're never going to be able to sell to anybody anything because you've just got this conflict inside. Internal conflict. Because you're the objection that you give. You're the objection you give. If you're the type of person that wants everything for free, then the objection you're going to get is people wanting discounts, or they want it for free, or they're not willing to invest. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Just type me in the chat. You guys are picking up what I'm putting down? Type me in the chat. I see you, Sam. I see you, Elvis. I see you, Tyler. David, I see you guys. The next category, he told me, these are cheapo people. Cheapo people. These are the dabblers. They want anything in life as long as it's cheap. They're the ones that buy the books. They buy the basic stuff. They buy the basic courses. They attend a few random online events which cost them nothing. And they go through life telling themselves the lie that they can't afford it. And since they believe the lie that they can't afford it, what else do you feel they believe? Who else do you think they believe can't afford it? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Who else do you think they can't afford it because they believe themselves can't? Yeah, you got it. They're prospects. So what I want to do is I just want to completely destroy the myth of I can't afford it. I know this will help you on your next sales call. You guys ready for this? Type me in the chat. Type me in the chat. All right, I'm still in the right room. See, people don't buy what they can afford. People buy the things they want the most. Do you remember the luggage example from yesterday? Remember this? Remember this bad boy? Of course you can't afford the luggage when I told you it's $100,000. Until I told you inside the luggage, there was $300,000. Now, all of a sudden, you do whatever you can and figure out how to come up with $100,000 because you see the value. Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? So if you want to change your family's life, if you want to help more people, if you want to impact the world in a great way, then you need to stop being free pool. You need to stop being cheapo so you can level up and master the skills to use your mouth and your mind to create the impact your family deserves. I listen to all of you read out your letter to yourself. I know you're doing this for your family. You said you're doing this for your family. You have the ability to do that when you commit to mastery. And I just want to be crystal clear. This group's amazing. But you know, there's always people out there, the negative Nancy's, the skeptical people that would say, oh, you're trying to convince me. Guys, I have no convincing blood in me. You know why? Because do I believe selling is something you do to people that you've heard time and time again? Or do I believe that selling is something you do for people? Yeah, I believe selling is something you do for people because I've seen it, but I've been on the other end. I've been on your end right now watching this 5-6 years ago. And I know what changed for me when I committed to mastering these skills. Like if you're not sharp enough by now to see that learning these skills, mastering an EPQ, if you're not sharp enough to see that you'd be better off than not, I don't know what we can do for you. But here's the reality, my friends. The cheapo people, they don't realize that the only thing that literally perpetuates poverty, listen to me when I say this, the only thing that perpetuates poverty is the expectation of poverty. See, cheapo people, freepo people, the wingers, the dabblers, the know-it-allers, they're asking the wrong question. I'm looking at this. So many of you are so amazing. You're all amazing for being here. If you haven't already signed up for NEPQ Mastery to learn these skills, I know that's because of one thing. I know it's because you're asking the wrong questions. You're focusing on what? Do you remember what I said? The lack versus the fortune? So many people are still focusing on their lack. You're asking, what happens, Anthony, if this doesn't work for me? What happens, Anthony, if this doesn't work for my industry? What if I don't get the results? Seriously, I want you to think about it. If I pay Jeremy $900, you're gonna put down $899. If I put down $899 today and it doesn't work, what happens, Anthony? But you're asking the wrong question. See, you already know what you're already doing already isn't working. You already know this works. It's obvious this already works. We're already in your industries. We train the top 1% in your industries because it works with human behavior. I saw an interesting comment come up before. I don't remember who it was, but we had somebody wise in the chat that said, I committed to mastery because I didn't second guess when I invested tens of thousands, some of you hundreds of thousands of dollars into my university degree, into my college education. I didn't think twice about doing that. And I went to all this debt, didn't even land a job that's going to set me up for success. Why wouldn't I commit a couple of $1,000s to my own education in sales? So whoever that was, well done. I can tell you're a wise person. So think about it. If you're watching me right now, and if you are saying, what if this doesn't work for me? Think about the story that you're telling yourself that's holding you back from mastery, holding you back from success. Because the real question you should be asking is, what will my life look like when this works? How much better will I be when I learn these skills? How much better will life be, my family be, my community be, my spouse, my wife, my kids? How much better will they be when I stop winging and being the dabbler and being the know-it-aller and be someone that's committed to mastery? See, it's really, really interesting that a focus on poverty creates poverty. I'm here to serve you, so is Jeremy. So if you want to serve, if you want to be better, if you want to improve your family lives, then you have to do something for me. You have to be feeple people. These are the next. Feeple people are willing to pay a fee. They're willing to pay a fee for being there. All of you are feeple people because you're paid $1 to be here. That is a start. So give yourselves a hand for that. But what if I told you being feeple people is only the start? It's only the start. You can't stop there because then your income gets capped. So if you want to master this, we can't be freeple, we can't be cheaple, we can't be feeple. Let me tell you who you need to be. Let me tell you who you deserve to be. You deserve to be preple people. Preple people. What is preple people, Anthony? Tell me. Anthony, what is people? Well, these are the people that are willing to pay a premium for the things they get. Because as salespeople, how on earth are we going to sell something to our prospects to change their life if we're not willing to do that ourselves? Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? Are you guys getting this? I'm not going to lie. This was a hard lesson that I had to learn, especially when my mentor slapped me across the face, not physically. But he said, Anthony, you're never going to outperform the way you see yourself. So if you're pretending you want your skill level to go up, but you're not willing to invest and seeing your bank balance go down just slightly, you're kidding yourself. You're kidding yourself. So if you're serious, as we're about to jump into the role play, as I'm about to give away a Rolex, it's all fun and games. It's great. But if you're serious about leveling up your skills, stop being the mediocre many. Start to commit to mastery. Stop being a dabbler. Stop being a willer. Stop being the know-it-aller. Don't even wait. Don't wait till midnight. Make that decision now. Change your life now. Remove your pennies now. So remember, you get in life not what you want, you get what you are. So go right now to getnepq.com. Getnepq.com. Jeremy's going to walk you through the rest of the plan. Give yourselves a massive round of applause. You all are playing full out. Well done, everybody. Well done.
100%. We are not cheapo people. We're not people. We are premium people, because if we want to help our prospects get where they want to go, we are the objection we give. So if we can't overcome our own objection and invest in our own skill level, how are we going to help our prospects overcome their objections to buy what you're offering, right? You guys get this. Let's go to the next slide. So remember everything we're going to get in the training plan, the NEPQ Mastery, retail value 3,300, Mastery face calls with Andy and I, almost $5,000 value for the year, cold calling scripts, but we have to teach you the courses to go with it. We show you the courses, the tonality that go with it. You don't want to read a script. Advanced calling your leads, inbound, outbound, door-to-door, in person, in the office, doesn't matter. We're going to show you how to do that, the tone as well. Fast track assessment call, and we're going to help you get placed. A lot of you are asking, like, hey, I'm new to sales. Where do I get a sales job? In our NEPQ Level 2 placement. That is our job program. We have, like I said, dare I say, thousands of companies that have been coming to us, and we have huge recruiting agencies that we partnered with that are ready to hire people who are certified in NEPQ. Get in there. You want to get in there and learn those skills. So all that retail value, 18,332. Like I said yesterday, this is what I went over with you yesterday. And what did I say that I was going to do? I said, we're going to lower it all the way down. I said, we're going to lower it all the way down. Hold on one second. I got something in my face here. We're going to lower it all the way down to here. I said, we're going to do it for you. 5,997. Remember, 67% off. But did you hear what I said yesterday? Remember what I said? I said, we wanted to do something even more special for you, because this group, this has been a smaller event that we do. We usually do big events, 15, 20,000 people. We want to do a more intimate one of like 1,000 to 1,500. But you have showed up, you've been engaged, and more importantly, you showed us you want to actually master these skills. You're not like everybody else out there who couldn't give a damn about learning how to sell more, who couldn't give a damn about their situation and changing it. You're different. So instead of paying what everyone else pays, because we know that once you log into the training portal today, just like thousands of our clients will tell you, once you make an extra 10 sales from the training, on top of what you're already doing, if you agree to send us a video testimonial of the results you're getting from the mastery program, remember I said I'm going to give you a scholarship, okay? So we're going to give you an NEPQ scholarship. Let me know if you want one of these scholarships. So with NEPQ scholarship, if you agree to record a video, once you make an extra 10 sales from them, it can't be written. We have almost 41,000 written testimonials. Has to be a video. If you're willing to do that, like I said, we're going to lower it all the way down to $899, and then 3 easy payments of $899. What else can I do for you? Go to getnepq.com right now. Link is on the screen. Type it in your browser right now. Now, you do have a couple of different options. People asked for this. A lot of our clients want to save and get a discount. So if you want to prepay like they do, you can just pay the prepaid, the $2,993, which will save you another $600, around 20%. Probably 80 some percent of our clients do that. Or if you don't have the full funding today, you can put down the 899 and then 3 easy payments of 899. This is literally all you have to do to start learning how to sell more. Let me know if you disagree with me that you don't want to learn how to sell more, because I can't even do anything else for you. And this is crazy. Now, we do have something else for you as well. Because remember, is selling something you do 2 people, or is selling something you do 4 people? Tell me, is selling something you do 2 people, or is selling something you do 40? Because as a sales training company, do I have a moral obligation to help you get in the training? Because if I can't help you get in the training, I offer you no value. How can you sell more if I don't? Let me know in the chat. Because here's the thing, we don't have to. We can just finish up the training. That's it. You're on your own. We hope you figure it out someday. Should we do that to you? Yes or no? Okay. Because we want you to learn this and master it, we know what's possible for you. So we have secured partnerships with third-party lending companies who are loaning funding to our clients now. Some of you can even get it for 0% interest for 12 months, or spread it out over 18 months to lower it even more down to $249 for those who are eligible. That's like $8 a day, which our clients would say is a no-brainer. I mean, you guys get this, right? Like, post in the chat, like, what do you spend $8 a day on right now? Soda at a gas station? A Wendy's cheeseburger? Coffee? How much money is that making you every day? If you had this plan where you have the right skills, would you honestly make more than $8 extra a day in commissions if I trained you? If I trained you for the next 12 months with Andy, would you make more than $8 extra a day in commissions? Yes or no? This is a no-brainer. So go right now. Go right now. Go to getnepq.com right now. Get in right now. Because the last thing I'm going to do, and I did this with 103 people yesterday, they got it quickly. It went like in a few hours. So for only 43, I'm only going to do this for 43 more of you. There's, I don't know, there's like 900 some people on here. I want you to do this right here in the chat. Type in the number one question you ask. Well, actually, no, do this. I'm going to throw a curveball here. Type in the number one question you want to ask me to help you sell more. In the chat, type in the number one question you want me to answer right now to help you sell more. Not about the training, but type in the number one question you want me to answer so you can sell more, because I'm going to answer it for you right now. Type in the number one question you have, like, hey, I sell life insurance. How do I do this? Or I sell e-com. How do I do this? I sell cybersecurity. How do I do this? How do I frame the beginning of the outbound call for the reason for the call in e-commerce? Okay, ask me. I want you guys to ask me your number one question. I'm going to answer it for you right now. I sell this. How do I disarm the prospect? Or I do this. How do I do this? Because I want you to see something pretty cool. Was anybody on here yesterday when I showed you our Ask Jeremy AI? Anybody see that? Well, it has about a little bit under 33,000 hours of my training, which is not found online for the most part, just so you're aware, because this is client training. ChatGPT doesn't have it. Gronk doesn't have it. No AI has this, but this, because none of those have licensing agreements with us. They can only pull from free basic content for the dabblers. All of our paid training client content is in here, my brain, about 33,000 hours. Now, Anthony, if you have it, maybe pull a question from here and let's just answer it from Ask Jeremy. That might be cool. Do you guys want to see that? Do you guys want to see how my brain and AI will actually answer your questions right now? Who in here wants to see that? Because it's pretty cool. We test piloted this on several companies over the last couple of months, and they are blown away. Everything is right there. It's pretty crazy. And we're going to show you what to do well, show you what to do to stop losing sales. We're going to show you how to actually build a gap in your industry. How do you tie an NEPQ to what you sell? And what do I always say the biggest problem in sales is? You remember a minute ago I said, what was the biggest problem in sales? What did I say? Can anybody tell me? The problem that you don't know you have. So while Anthony's grabbing your questions and putting them into our AI, the problem that you don't know you have. So this is for you if you don't know where your bottlenecks are. So this actually reviews your sales conversations. What if I reviewed every single sales call on Zoom for you, every single phone call, every in-person appointment you have, even if you're on the doors, and my brain reviewed it for you and showed you where you lost the sale or where you won it and showed you what to tweak and what to do better? Would you sell more? Yes or no? Tell me in the chats. Would you sell more? Yes or no? Because that's what this does. Anthony, do we have it?
We do. So I
Share
had
your
a
screen on. I want to
question.
see that.
All right, let me show you. So I had a question from Dan Thielen. Dan Thielen asked, you share it? I sell roofing and they often say I need to talk to other contractors first. So I just plugged that into the AI. That was Dan's question.
There we go. What did
Ask
it do?
Jeremy spits it out.
Yep.
All right. And obviously we can keep prompting it to get more insight. What are you
Yep.
hearing from them? What do you feel has prevented you from already moving forward with one of those bids you already received? So it's now giving you the scripting, and also it's giving you a link here to click to watch.
I need to qualify them to see if they have enough pain. That's bullshit. A lady on sale comes to you with pain, right? My pain's
Yeah,
so
then it's
bad,
going to go into
my
more
knee is
details, and it's
busted.
actually,
Please,
you can stop
doctor.
right now. It's going to go into actually answering that roofing question. So everything that you guys have, like literally every sales question for every industry is already in here, because we have scripts for every industry that we've written over the last 6 years, every industry in the world. This is not me. This is what Forbes says. Okay. It's in here, every single thing you ask. And then we show you what to prompt it, because you're going to prompt it other things to get more specific. You can go ahead and take that down, Anthony. You're going to prompt it to get more specific. And then it will take you, it'll say, click here, and it will take you to 2 or 3 different trainings where I actually trained on your question. Now, who in here believes you would sell less if you had my brain 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? How much is that worth? Because we say retail value that our AI is worth $19.97, but I'd probably go out on a limb that might be worth what? Would somebody say maybe millions of dollars of knowledge? Type in me if you're getting what I'm throwing down. You guys getting this? So we're going to give you that for 6 months access. We're going to give you everything on this list. Like I said, total retail value, $20,329. We're going to give you the AI even free for 6 months. If you want to continue after 6 months, you just pay once a month for the AI. Okay. And that's it. We lowered it all the way down to $2,993, 85% off today. Or if you don't have the full funding, you can put down $899. Now, question, Anthony, before we get in this last role play, people are asking where they go to get the funding. Where do they go to get the funding?
Yes. So to get the funding, on the link, there is a button that says funding. Click on that and it will take you through an application. Now, if for whatever reason, actually, Jeremy, yesterday we had a bunch of people go
show
through
them?
and they said they got denied. So yeah, yesterday we had a bunch of people go through and get denied. I'll pull it up just so everyone can see it.
And we found out that over half of them didn't even get denied. They just entered in the wrong information. And then we called them back, helped them, and they got approved. So if you got denied, you might have just entered in the wrong information. So let's show them what to do.
Exactly. All right. So here's the page. Go down to the bottom here. You'll see the bottom. So click on the bottom button. Now, if for whatever reason you get denied, we've got a breakout room open right now where the team will show you how to actually go through it, fill it out the right way so you can get approved. If that doesn't go through for any reason, the top option, you'll see the 4-buy payment plan. Make sure you click the 4-buy payment plan option. Everyone gets approved for that, where you just put down $899. This is our in-house payment plan options. And then 3 more installments a month apart of $899. So
okay, so they need to go in the breakout rooms, and we've got people, we got customer service in the breakout rooms. Now, everybody check the chats, because we got Max here, we got people in the support team that's posting the breakout room in there for you. Just go in the breakout room and they're going to pull it up and show you what to enter in, because when we called back half the people that got denied yesterday, like half of them literally just entered in the wrong information. We showed them what to do and they automatically got approved. Does that make sense to everybody? Does that help everybody? Okay, good.
And Jay, I'm just getting word from the team. Let me just read this. One sec. Okay, so it looks like we've got a bunch of people saying they need an extra day or two to get the funds. They're not going to be able to make it by the deadline that we set, midnight.
Hold on. What do you mean?
I don't know. What do we got? What are we saying, team? Yeah, we got a few people messaging us in the DMs and in the WAP community that they're not going to be able to get the funds. They need a couple of extra days to gather the funds so they can commit to mastery. What do you want to do with that?
Let me think about that for a second, because here's what I want to do, Anthony. But let me think about that. Guys, go right now. Let me think about what I can do, because I want to do this before we do this last role play, Anthony. I want to do one thing. I want to share something with you that really helped me overcome my patterns that were holding me back when I first got into sales, where I never had to worry about money again. Would that help you if I went over that for you? I told you a little bit about it yesterday. Would that help you guys if I went over that? Okay. Now, like I said, if you need help, get in there in that Zoom and they'll help you. Remember, I told you about an experience I had my second year in sales. That was back in 2002. Remember, I talked to you yesterday about the Christopher Reeve interview with Larry King? Type in me if you heard me go over that yesterday. That really helped me overcome my limiting beliefs. I would say my story that I was constantly telling myself on why I couldn't get better, why I couldn't invest, why I couldn't invest my skill level. Remember, I said I wanted it so bad. But remember, I wanted it so bad that I wasn't willing to settle. And I'm sure you've had that experience in your life as well. And maybe for you, here's the thing. It might have been something different. It might have been maybe one of your family members got sick. Maybe you wanted to go on that vacation and you were no longer willing to settle. So remember, I said, I just went for it yesterday. And here's the magic thing when I went for it. And I want you to write this down. This can change your life. I realized all the times in my life when I said I couldn't afford it, when I said I couldn't do it, I was lying. Because if I had been more committed, I could have found a way. I proved that to myself. So now, anytime in my life, when I hear myself say I can't do something or I can't afford it, I say, Jeremy, you're a liar. You're a freaking liar. Now, I wouldn't be lying to you to say it wasn't hard. And I wouldn't be saying that maybe I don't know how to do it yet, like something yet. But to say that anything is impossible, to do something, to make your life better, your family's life better, when other people out there who are just like you are doing it right now today, well, that's the biggest lie we can tell ourselves, isn't it? So if you want to make your life better, then we can't lie to ourselves of what we're capable of, can we? Type in me if you're starting to get this. Type in me. Okay, type in me. And I want to know, type in me if you're the type of person who's committed to mastery. Hey, let's do this, Anthony. I want to bring out a few more people who just enrolled in mastery. We're going to announce the Rolex. I want to announce the Rolex, but I want to hear from I want to hear from a few people that just got started, because I want to know what caused them to like, damn it, I'm sick of this. I'm just gonna jump in. I need to change. I need to do something. I want to hear from a few of those people. Can we pull up a few of those people while we do that?
We can. All right. If you committed to mastery, if you just committed to mastery today, over the past 12 hours or so, just type I did it. Type I did it in the chat. Team, can we pull a few people to the backstage? Just make sure their camera, their microphone is all working. All right. We're getting someone, Jeremy. We're getting somebody.
Okay. So let's answer a few questions while they're in there. So,
Sure.
So tell me again. So people were saying, what were people saying again? What's going on?
All right. So I got a message.
What excuses are they giving themselves?
I think some people need to rob a bank or something before midnight just to gather the funds. They need a couple extra days. I don't know. Well, what are we going to do with that?
So who on here is going to rob a bank tomorrow? Maybe you're planning on digging up some buried treasure at the bottom of the ocean this weekend. So you got a couple more days to get funding. Help. Just go do it now. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Can you imagine going to bed tonight knowing that you have a step-by-step plan taught by people who've mastered themselves? So when you get on calls tomorrow or conversations tomorrow, you already have a plan. What type of certainty does that give to you that maybe you don't have now? Or maybe you don't have as much as you want? Are you getting what I'm throwing down here? Okay. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to give you, what is today? Thursday.
Ooh, is he being generous? Is Uncle Jay being generous?
I still want them to put something down, though. They need to put something down, because if they don't put something down, they're not going to commit, right? Remember, people only believe They don't believe what they say. They only believe what they do. So as long as they put something down in that Zoom room, if they didn't get approved for funding or anything like that, they need another day or two, then I will let them extend it to, I'll let them extend it by 48 hours. So that's going to be Saturday night, midnight Pacific Standard Time. That is it. That is it. I think don't be calling us after that asking that. I feel like we're doing really a good favor here. So remember, if we click on that link after Saturday night, midnight PST, it's just the regular pricing, which is still a deal. The $6,000, that's still a deal because, I mean, look at all the sales that you're losing from not having the training right now. Look at even the job placement, the AI. The AI, we've invested millions into that to get it ready for you. Okay. So click it on it's actually better for us if you paid the full price. I know our CEO would be happy for sure. So midnight Pacific Standard Time, Saturday night, that is the final deal if you want the 85% off or the discount that we're giving you. Because here's the thing, who does this affect if we don't master the right skills? Besides you, don't even think about yourself. Would this affect your family? Would this affect your spouse? Does it impact your children if you don't have the right skills? Even if you don't have kids yet, will it impact your future kids and what they do in the future? Will it impact in the future when they have kids? Will it impact their kids who have kids financially if you stay at the same level you're at right now? Think about your family line for generations to come, because like a great mentor once told me, there's always one person in every family line who puts the stake in the ground and says, not on my watch. Every wealthy family that you see on the news or the TV or you hear about, every single wealthy family that was once what? Broke. The Rothschilds once were broke. The wealthiest families in the world once were broke. But there was one person in that family that put a stake in the ground and said, not anymore. It's up to me, not anybody else. And because they made that decision to invest in their skill level, their family line for generations to come completely changed the way they think about money, the success, everything. Are you that person? Type in me if that's you, because I'll tell you, my family was me. Nobody in my family had ever made any money. I'm the first one. They were poor potato farmers from Wales over in the UK. That's where my family line comes from. But I said, not on my watch. And everything has shifted in my family line. And I want that for you. Type in me if you're that person that knows it's up to you and nobody's coming to help you but yourself. And you've got to master these skills. See, this is a smart group. This is a high-level room, Anthony. This is a high-level room.
It is. And Jeremy, we have somebody that committed to mastery. I'm about to introduce, and I can see he's got a little one up on stage. So everybody, give it up for Keegan.
Keegan, all right, man. We got the little one up here. I love this.
I do. How's it going, Uncle Jay?
My friend. All right, so where do you live? What do you sell, my friend? What's going on?
I am in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I am in the talent acquisition space, specifically for one-call closers in the home remodeling sector.
Oh, home remodeling, so like home improvement, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, huge industry we train. A lot of people out here in home improvement, home services. Okay, so were you a winger, dabbler, or know-it-all?
Oh, definitely a dabbler. Been following you for years, man.
Where has that kept you?
Where I'm at today, unsuccessful and unsatisfied with where I'm at.
Yeah. How much, first of all, congratulations on finally committing to mastery. What caused you to feel like, I'm tired of being a dabbler. I'm gonna follow through with my family now. I'm not gonna be afraid.
Yeah, it's this little thing right here. I can't afford to be afraid anymore. Otherwise, she's not going to get the life that I want to provide for her.
What life do you want to provide for her?
Well, Oklahoma's not the best known for their schools, so a little private school for her and On top of that, I'd like to retire my wife from working so we can expand this little family we're growing.
What does your wife do now?
She's a grant writer. She works for the Child Advocacy Network here in Tulsa.
Yeah. What do you want what type of role model do you want to be for your daughter right there? She's cute.
I want to be the one who provides and protects at the end of the day.
Yeah. Because what does that show her as she gets older and starts dating and gets married? What does that show her?
She's got to find a strong man like her old man.
Yeah. Are you the person in your family that's putting the stake in the ground?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What are you feeling right now?
Overwhelmed with emotion for sure. It's been a roller coaster these past 3 nights. It's the one thing I can say. I've taken a lot away from this that I can, implement in the day following. So already seeing success from the few nuggets you've been dropping today. And I know once these 3 days are over, I got the mastery course to dive into, and it's all uphill from here.
Yeah. A mentor of mine once told me that once you have the right skills, it's pretty damn hard to fail. Like you have to really try hard to fail once you know what to do. Because people out there, unfortunately for them, and I don't want to call them dumb, I don't want to call them hard-headed, but if they just got the understanding that if they just learn the right skills, it'd be really hard to fail. Because what causes anyone to fail at anything? A lack of knowledge and a lack of how to apply that knowledge. So once we have the right knowledge and we have somebody who's mastered it show us how to apply it, it's pretty damn hard at that point to fail at anything. You with me?
I'm with you.
All right. Well, I want to congratulate you. Make sure you're on that training call next week with Anthony. If you miss the live version, get the recorded, and you've already got access. You can log into the portal right now, literally right off we get off here. You can start making more sales, because when you start making more sales, Keegan, a fun thing happens. It forces your company to have to pay you more. And
that's right.
They want to pay you more because you're making more sales. I can guarantee you that, my friend. All right, take care of that little one. Congratulations.
I sure will. Thanks, Jeremy.
Give it up. Give it up, man. I've been seeing you in the chats. Well done. Congratulations. Give it up. I want to bring out somebody else, Hank. I want to bring out somebody else here. And I've got somebody ready for this last role play. And I think we're going to give the Rolex away next, aren't we?
We are going to give the Rolex away next. So, team, can we pull up one more person that committed to mastery? Do we have anybody else that committed to mastery? Jeremy, whilst we get one more person up, by the way, just comment, I did it one more time. I did it one more time if you've committed and you're ready to speak to Jeremy. That baby was adorable. Keegan, you're a great father. I can already tell, man. I can.
Got some good genes over there, man. Yeah. Congratulations. That kid's going to be I always say that the kid's going to be a Gerber baby. You know what a Gerber baby is, Anthony?
No, that must be an American thing. What is Gerber?
It's an American thing. It's a Gerber baby. Does everybody know what the Gerber baby is? Type in me if you know what the Gerber baby is. You know, like
enlighten me.
It's like the kids, like, you know what I mean? It's like, Aiden, you know what the Gerber baby is? Am I getting that old? So it's the Gerber baby. It's like the baby food. It has the little like
baby food.
Plump baby's face on the little baby food. It's the Gerber baby. See?
Okay.
Everybody in America knows what the Gerber baby is.
I'll save that for Google later. All right. That sounds interesting. Now, Jeremy, I'm just going to do something. We're going to pull somebody up. But the team have asked me to ask all of you. We need to know where you're watching this on right now. So I'm going to put a poll up. And I want to know, where are you watching us right now? Is it just type A in the chat if you're watching on your computer or your laptop. B, hold on. The second one needs to be reset. So we want to know where you're watching this on. So is it A, your computer? Is it on your phone? Or is it on TV? So I'm going to just reload this, check the screen right now, and type in the chat. A on the computer, B on phone, or C on your TV. Let us know in the chat. Let's see the results, team. Let's have a look.
Now I want to see what that is. Interesting. I'm going to go with half on the computer, half on the phone, and 10% on the TV.
Half on the computer, half on
Half
the
on-
phone. Interesting.
Okay,
Good.
0 on the TV. Okay.
Do TVs still exist these days? I don't know.
I
People
guess
watch TV.
TVs don't
Oh, this room.
exist.
Okay, so
Maybe one.
team screenshot that 65% on the computer, 35% on the phone. There are other results.
I saw a C. I saw a couple C's in there. Swear. Okay, what are we gonna do? All right, so hey, let's what were the rules of the while we bring up one more person, what were the rules of the winner of the Rolex? And from what I had heard, I just got a secret decoded message here on my phone.
Did we get it?
It was
Did we get the winner?
really, really close on these three
close.
people, like really, really close.
Okay, we have the winner. We're not going to announce it just yet. Do you want to announce it?
Announce it yet?
We can announce it.
We can announce it.
We can announce it.
You guys want us to announce it right now? We still
Who
got
wants to
another
know the
role play
winner?
on how to close the sale.
Should we do it? Sheesh kebabs.
You guys want us to do it?
Let me duck out for like 60 seconds. I just want to triple confirm I've got the right name before I announce it. Have you ever seen, Jeremy, have you seen those TV shows where they announce the winner of a competition and they had the wrong winner? How embarrassing. How embarrassing is that? I don't want to be in that position.
This is a really nice Rolex. It's unisex, so you know, women, men, doesn't really matter. We obviously we got a lot of women on here, a lot of men, so we had to get a unisex one. So congratulations to whoever won this. We just wanted you to have you guys have something special. And yeah. All right. Who do we got?
We've got the winner. So I'm about to announce it. Now, in order to win, you have to show up live all 3 days. You had to do your homework and post it on video. You also had to do the assessment quiz we gave you yesterday because we saw who scored the highest. And you had to be playing full out, engaging in the chat, uplifting other people in the community. You're going to be winning a Rolex Datejust with box and papers shipped to you. So who's ready for this? Hey, this is a big moment. This is the first time we're doing Rolex.
Bring me up here. I want to come up.
All right, bring Jeremy up. Jeremy, just hold it up. Just hold up the Rolex so everyone can see it. This is what you're winning. It's just like a two-tone Rolex. So the winner is, let me make sure I've got this right. I think we got this right.
Oh my God,
drum roll,
I'm so
please.
excited.
The
Can we
winner
get a drum roll?
for the Rolex,
drum roll.
for the person that played full out, shipped straight to you is Morgan Macy. Woo! Well done, Morgan.
Morgan Macy. Holy shish kebabs. Shish kebab Morgan Macy, you got a nice Rolex coming for you. Now you might have to get adjusted, your wrist size and all that stuff. So you can just take it to like any Rolex deal or anything. You can probably get some links taken out of it if your wrist is smaller than this. Could fit just perfectly. Do we have Morgan? Is she on here? Does she want to come out and
team? Can we get Morgan up?
Is Morgan here?
Morgan should be here. Team, let's pull Morgan up. And just as we bring her up, I just want to say, I listened to Morgan.
Hey, hold on. Isn't this the lady that did the role play on day one?
Yes, exactly. It's the lady that did the role play on day one. And I listened to her letter to herself. She wrote it out yesterday, Jeremy. I just want to say how brave and how much courage Morgan has for being here right now. And she can share a bit about what's actually going on for her. But I know that she's got 2 sons. She's a single mother. And she is left to financially support her 2 sons. Recently, something's happened where she's had to basically take over fully as a single parent. And she's so brave and has so much courage to be here, committing to mastery despite what's going on in her life, that she's making it work. She is the person that's doing whatever it takes. So I just want to say, Morgan, you deserve this. And I'm so excited to see where your journey takes you because I know you've got this. You're an amazing mother. You're an amazing mother.
Yeah. Congratulations, Morgan. I remember, hopefully we find her. I remember she was a little bit nervous.
Let's bring her up.
She was the first role play, I think, on the first day. I think she was a little bit nervous, which is normal. There's 1,500 people she's role playing with. But she did really good starting out, and hopefully we gave her a few tips to help her. Hopefully she got into the plan, so she starts crushing it. Her industry is the biggest industry we train in the world, so we don't like the back of our hands. Thousands in that space we train. So Morgan, hopefully you're here. Congratulations. Let's try to pull her up if we have her. Do we have her?
Team, can we bring Morgan in? I've got word that she's here. Can we bring her to the main stage, please?
We still got to announce who won the one-on-one with you.
I already announced that yesterday.
Oh,
That
that's
was Nico.
right.
That was Nico.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Well, let's bring her
Morgan,
up.
Morgan just disconnected. Give her a minute to come back on.
All right, we'll give her. Well, while we're doing that, I want to bring up. Let's bring up one more person, and because
Okay.
I want to bring up somebody who just committed to master. I want to find out why they did that, and then we're going to bring up Morgan. Congratulate her, Rob, big claps because this is a really nice freaking watch. I would wear this watch. This is pretty sweet. And then we're going to get in that last role play. Who wants to learn how to close? Because that's what we're going to learn here at the very last part of the thing. So let's bring. Did we have another client that just got started? I saw.
We do. We have Francie. So everybody, Francie, are you there? Come to the main stage. Give it up for Francie, everybody. Nakamura, welcome.
Hey, I remember you from the other day. Hey, well, hey, you know what? Congratulations, because what do I always say? I say people, we never believe what we say, we only believe what we do. And congratulations. I remember talking to you, was it yesterday? You were in a role play? Yeah, it was, okay, I remember you. Yes,
Yes.
the Southern Utah lady.
Yes.
I
That's
remember
me.
Southern Utah. I went to school up in
Utah
Valley University. So, okay, so what caused you to, I remember a little bit about what you said. What caused you to feel like, hey, were you a winger, dabbler, or know-it-all? I can't remember.
I was a dabbler.
Yeah. And where did that came?
And then you just kept saying, you know, you think you were, and I didn't realize that was my whole pattern all my life. I always say, I think, or I'll try. And so at that point I was like, no, I got to do this. And so I've been on I've been on the program this whole day, and just the AI itself, the Ask Jeremy, it's so worth it.
It's got a lot of,
like, oh my gosh.
That's 33,000 hours in there. It's a lot. You could have pushed it down the road, like a lot of people,
which I normally
would push it down the road. Like I'll try it out. Remember when I said to try to read the letter?
Yes.
I said try to read it, and you're like, huh? I said try to read it. See, we don't try anything. We either do or we don't. Congratulations. What caused you not to push it down the road like you normally did?
Because time does fly, and I don't have that much time to waste anymore. And to be honest, Jeremy, I will tell you that I was really close to closing this guy, and it was $1 million contract. They do 2 million. And I sat down, and at the last minute when I went to go see him, he pulled out. And I was like, what happened? And I remembered some of the things that you taught about triggering what you do triggered sales resistance. This time I knew exactly what I did to trigger sales resistance. Because
guess what's going to happen now? So now I'm going to show you what to do instead so you actually close that deal, because how much commissions would you have made on that if you had the right skills?
Oh my gosh.
Tell me.
A lot.
How much?
Like, I think they told me like 100 and like, I think it was like $75,000.
Yeah. See, which is more expensive?
Yeah.
Getting the $2,900 together, we learn the skills, we learn what to do, we sell more. Or is it more expensive to keep pushing down the road, hoping and praying, and nothing changed? I mean, which is more expensive? Which is costing you more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was like, enough. I need to do this. So.
Hey, can you do yourself a favor this time and do me a favor? Can you follow through this time?
Yes.
Because I can tell you've been in this position before, but you haven't followed through. Would I be right?
I know. Yeah, that's been my pattern.
Okay. Are you ready to break that pattern? Because it hasn't really helped you get where you want, has it?
No, it hasn't.
Okay. However, we can create a new pattern, can't we?
I'm looking forward to that.
Is everybody ready to create a new pattern in your life right now from this day forward? A pattern of commitment to mastery and following through with the plan and actually following it? Because I can tell you which pattern's going to give you the most success in life. Because you have people depending on you mastering this, don't you? Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you ready to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm here to help you because I can't guarantee you that you're going to hit that number on your paper, because I can't guarantee that you're going to get in that training portal and you're going to get in the training calls and follow what we show you how to do. Who can guarantee that?
Me.
Yeah. What we can guarantee you on our end is we're going to train you the skills necessary to get to that number on the paper. You have to guarantee us that you're going to follow through and do it. Are you with me on that? Okay, perfect. You ever want a different career or anything? You get the placement now. You can do anything you want with all these companies that hire certified closers. So your options are wide open. Congratulations.
Yeah, excited about that.
I want everybody to give a big fire emoji for Francie here and tell her to follow through on that commitment. All right, man, you be good. Stay out of trouble. We'll see you next week on the training call. Well done.
Bye.
You want
amazing,
results?
Francie.
Where do you go right now? GetNEPQ.com. Anthony, do we have the winner? I love, this is why we do this. This is why I get up every day to help people like Francie.
We do. Hey, Morgan was just here. Where'd she go? Team, what's going on? What's going on? Where's more? Oh, there you go. All right, everybody. Introducing our Rolex winner, Morgan. Welcome.
Hi, guys.
Congratulations,
Thanks.
Morgan. Hey,
I could not believe it.
The team,
Thank you so much.
The team went through hundreds of videos and letters and everything. So congratulations. What's going on in your mind right now?
Kind of at a loss for words. I'm super excited. I just feel like this is kind of making me feel like this is happening for a reason. There's like I have a purpose in my life, and I've been having a lot of God moments lately. And
you got those two boys right there. That's your purpose.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Absolutely.
What do you want them to know? What do you want them to, what do you want to teach them as they grow up?
My only goal in life is to teach them to be good men. I'm not raising little boys. I'm raising men. And,
I love that.
You know, being a single mom, I can't do everything myself. So it does take a village. You know, I've got my dad. It's great. And their dad is, you know, whatever. But they're amazing kids, and they're going to be amazing adults, and that will probably be on their wrist in about 20 years.
Okay. Because when you commit to mastery and you start becoming very successful because of those skills, what do your boys now start to believe about their futures?
They're going to see that mom can do it and they can do it.
That's right.
Right?
And that's what commitment to mastery is. That's what leaders do. So I want to congratulate you. We'll get this shipped out first thing tomorrow, I believe. You'll have the papers and everything. And looking forward to maybe meeting you one day with this watch. You better be wearing this watch if I ever meet you.
Oh, for sure.
All right.
That thing's not coming off.
All right. Congratulations.
Oh my God. Thank you so much.
Yeah. You deserved it. All right. Everybody give it up for Morgan. Congratulations. Morgan and the boys. Congratulations. Give her a fire emoji.
Remy and Colton.
I love it. I love it. Take care of those boys.
Thank you.
100%. Is everybody fired up? All right, because I'm fired up. I'm fired up. Who's fired up with me? Who's fired up with me? Because I'm freaking excited. This is why I came out of retirement in freaking, what was it, 2019, 2020, right before COVID, and started doing all this crazy stuff for you guys. I love this stuff. I live for this every day. I know Anthony does too. That's why he's freaking where he's at right now. Client, just a person in a seat when I started this company. One of our first probably 1,000 clients in 2020 when we first started. Now look where he's at. Commitment to mastery gets you everything. Get you your own ticket going around the world. Now we got another role play here. Let's bring up that last slide. Who wants to learn how to close more? I'm assuming it's everybody. Now this guy has been a client here for a while. He's in our advanced inner circle programs. Anthony, what's the rules of the role play? Let's bring somebody up and I'm going to talk with Joe.
All right.
The rules of the last role play.
Rules for the role play. Morgan, so inspiring, by the way. So inspiring. Love to see your voice there. Rules for the role play. Working camera. Working camera, working mic, not a client yet. You could have signed up in the past 24 hours. That's fine. But you haven't been a client before this challenge. And let's get someone that sells B2B. I had a ton of people say, oh, B2B example, Joe, B2B expert as well. So if you sell B2B, type B2B in your industry, B2B in your industry. And let's welcome to the stage.
I think we did two role plays on B2B yesterday. Where were they yesterday? Good Lord. All right,
could
good.
be trouble.
Let's bring that client up, Joe. Hey, Joe, congratulations on your results, massive results. I typed in your kind of what you make. You told me at one of live events and into ChatGPT, and you're like 0.01% of all salespeople in your industry. Well, tell everybody where you live and what you sell, though.
I am in Tampa Bay, Florida now. I've been quite across the country a few times, but yeah, in Florida now, sell a few things. So sales.
What's your main gig?
Yeah, commercial insurance.
Yeah, commercial insurance. And what companies do you typically sell to?
Trucking companies.
Trucking companies.
So they have like fleets and yeah.
We're going to focus on commitment questions today. I don't like to use the word closing. I feel like it demeans people. I don't like people feeling like they're a number or anything. So what we do is we call it commitment questions. So I want you guys to take a look at what we're going to do here. There's two reasons why we're going to use these, and Joe's going to show you in the role play. Number one, it's obvious, helps them to commit to take the next step and purchase what you're offering. So that's pretty easy. So we get them to commit, take the next step to purchase what you're offering. And then two, depending on what I sell, let's say if I am in the B2B space and it's a multiple conversation close, it could be a longer sales cycle. It's just, these are called micro commitments. So these are smaller commitments, smaller steps that lead to the larger step of purchasing. It could be, a next step demo. It could be next step meeting with another decision maker or department head. It could be a next step proposal, whatever, next step appointment. Okay. Those are called micro commitments. All right. Do we got somebody up here that we're going to bring up, Anthony? Who are we bringing up here today?
Need about one more minute.
Wrap it up for us.
We need one more minute.
Okay, so Joe
wanted to do some bicep curls while we wait.
You're getting strong over there, man. Okay, so before you got into our NEPQ mastery, were you a winger, dabbler, or know-it-aller?
Oh, definitely a know-it-aller. I took a lot of sales trainings and felt I knew a lot.
Yeah. What happened when you took this one?
Well, I remember one coaching call with you and Anthony. It took me about an hour to understand a simple question. And then that led to like the largest deal I ever did when I understood that concept. So that's what kind of blew my mind. I was like, wow, I have like 1% of this down, and it was good.
Yeah. Commitment to mastery changes the ball game once you have the right skills. All right. So let's, give us this while we're pulling up somebody here from B2B, like give us a scenario where you even use micro commitments, like in your industry, where are you using the micro commitments at?
Yeah. So one thing actually, it was someone I saw in the chat. The question that landed this, it was a $3.3 million deal. And I had asked them, hey, if everything comes back and meets your criteria and everyone's at the same price, like how would you make your decision then?
So they were looking around at other vendors. Is that that's when you would use that? So
Yep.
let's say that
I use that.
Yeah. So let's say that you're so they bring up like, hey, we're looking at other quotes, we're looking at vendors, and you find out who those are. Let's say that you go to these other companies, and let's say that, they're able to solve problem A and problem B similar to what we do. And let's say the pricing is somewhat similar. I mean, how would you then decide who to go with? And what did they say when you asked that question?
So like they basically, and this is where sometimes a pattern interrupt is helpful. They're like, oh, well, I would just go based off who the person I trust. And I would just go like, well, I guess, how do you determine that? I mean, do you want my wife to call you, tell you how cool I am, or what would help you?
Just a little playful tone, right? And what happened with that playful tone, that pattern? What did he do?
They tell me like, well, I would actually need to know this, this, and this, and I got information that most of my competitors would not have to close that deal.
Does that make sense? Just that little technique right there that Joe just slipped conveniently through. We train you everything times 10,000 than that. So what he just did is at that point, like, how would you then decide who to go with? Whatever they say next is typically the thing you need to focus on, or leading you close to the real concern of what they're really wanting. Does everybody get that? What did you say, Evan?
And we have somebody, Jeremy.
We have somebody. All right, baby. Let's go.
Give it up for Angelo, everybody. Welcome, Angelo.
Angelo. Wrapping it up, Angelo. Let's bring up Angelo. Angelo, how are you, big guy?
I'm doing well. How are you, Jeremy?
Trying to stay out of trouble this Thursday night. What about you? Are you getting any trouble over there?
No, I'm just being a boring guy over here.
Oh, he
boring guy. I got to teach you the right tone on that. I love that. Okay, so Angelo, where do you live and what do you sell?
I live in Adelaide, Australia. Went to school with Anthony, actually.
What the heck?
Yeah, small world, small world.
Is this set up or what's going on?
No, it's not set up. What's up, Angelo?
Come on now. What's going on?
Dog.
More people in Adelaide. It's not as small as everyone.
Just everybody in Adelaide. I think Anthony did this on purpose. What do you sell, man?
I sell AI consulting, so B2B.
Okay. Big space for us for sure the last year. Okay. So here we've already done everything in the conversation. So what type of companies, what size of companies do you typically sell to?
Probably in between 1 million and 5 million revenue, typically.
Okay. So smaller companies. So do you typically close on a first call or a second call?
Second call.
Okay. So yeah, SMB second, sometimes first. It depends on sophistication, but yeah. Okay. So let's say you're at the end of the second call conversation. We just want to hear what you're asking to close the sale. That's it. And we'll show you what you do well and then show you any tweaks if necessary, if needed. And then we'll have Joe role play with you. Everybody pay attention. You ready to go, Angelo?
Let's do it.
What is Joe's problem you're solving?
So the typical problems that we look to solve is a lot of time being spent on manual processes where automation can wear a bit of time.
Okay.
So I guess,
how much more time are you giving this prospect? Just tell me what one of your last prospects, like how much time you saved them.
Yeah, last one with the time savings was about 10 hours a week for the founder that we saved.
Okay, so that probably frees up his time to really focus on running the business and scaling. Okay, good. All right, perfect.
Yeah, sure.
All right, Joe, you ready?
I'm ready. It's good to go.
Just be like a medium-sized prospect. And then we'll go from there. Just a medium size. Just give me you don't have to be a king size. Don't be a small fry. Just be like a medium fry.
All right.
And maybe even throw a curveball and throw out an objection on him.
All right.
Do that. Everybody want to hear that? Or
we'll go for the medium size. There we go.
All righty. So just to confirm, I've already sort of given the spiel, but I'm selling and I'm just asking you a question.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Do it.
So Joe, I guess look at. I feel like everything that we've gone through today is, I guess, in line with the initial reason why you reached out to us. Now, I guess if I was to sort of ask you on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being you don't want to consider AI in your business and you never want to talk to me again, and 10 being you feel like this is the right decision for you to make and you're ready to take the next step, where would you sort of put yourself on there?
7.
Yeah. And why not a 1? Just out of curiosity.
Say it again.
Why not a 1 out of curiosity?
One of 1? Sorry, maybe I misheard you.
Why not a 1?
Oh, sorry. Why not 1? Why not 1? Well, I think it's going to do like most things. Kind of you said, obviously what I'm doing right now isn't working, a lot of headaches. So
yeah. Okay. And I guess why not a 10? Well, what's sort of stopping you from getting you to that 10?
I don't know if anything can be a 10, but I don't see a 7 as like bad.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So you mentioned why it isn't a 1. I guess what exactly in what we've gone through today do you feel like could help you get your business to that next level of growth, like we mentioned before?
what could help me based off what you covered? Yeah, like I said, I think the biggest thing is just the time savings on it. I'm entrepreneur, like building a lot of things, have a lot of processes, trying to build more, and just knowing what AI can do. I'm just very not tech savvy, so that could
That's
help.
cool, man. That's cool. That's cool. How, just sort of, if I can ask you to go into a bit more detail for me, how exactly do you think that can help you?
Other than kind of what we chatted on,
Yeah. Like,
I don't
what is
think, yeah,
that? What's that time saving going to do for you and the business?
yeah. I mean, I could see it like getting me at least 10 hours a week back.
Yeah. And with
Yeah.
that 10 hours, what are you going to do? You're going to sort of sit on the beach and chill out, or are you going to,
Nah, yeah, I'm not that cool. Yeah, no, I would
yeah,
definitely just kind of use it to scale more and be able to kind of more work on the business instead of in it.
yeah. And what do you, I guess, how do you feel that'll change the trajectory of the business? Because you mentioned you've been sort of capped at that 1 mil mark. If you can work more on the business, where do you think that'll
I
put you?
love this, but you would have already got all this before you
Yeah,
closed.
yeah,
You would already got this in Sluice awareness,
yeah,
but it's good. But
Yeah.
you're going. We'll show you. We'll show you. You did really good. I actually really liked it. Joe, there's a few things I'm going to show you to tweak just a bit. That's even going to help you more. Joe, what do you feel like Angela did well?
extremely calm. Like
Hmm.
was not phased by any answer that I would give. Even if I
Hmm.
said like I said, because I'm repeating a little bit, he's just like, okay, just goes right with the next thing. That's
Yeah,
huge.
your nervous system is calm, which is good
Does
because
it feel that way?
that well you're playing a good book.
Bit nervous,
But why
but
is that
yeah.
so now why did I say that? Because that's why is that so important? Because if our nervous system is calm, it typically calms our prospect's nervous system.
Yep.
Does
Yeah.
everybody get that? So if we get an objection like, hey, I need to think it over, like, well, what? And our nervous system starts to get triggered, it automatically will trigger the prospect. Everybody understands that, right? So you did good with that. What do you feel like you could improve on, Joe?
I think part of it was just understanding like we may have already answered some of these things. I kind
Yeah.
of felt like we were maybe going around in circles a little bit,
Yeah.
Yep.
trying to get to like, I don't know if I would have like put in why not a one personally for me, because it almost like puts in my head, I'm kind of like, oh, okay, why not a one? But I'm also starting to think like, could it be closer to that? That's what it did for me. So
Okay.
Yeah. And it might feel like a technique to some like A-type personalities, just FYI. You'll get pushback
Sure.
with that because they feel like, well, obviously, duh, nothing's a one. Now,
Yeah, sure.
a few tweaks. There's if you're going to use the scale of 1 to 10, let me show you to use it a little bit more effective. So anytime
Let's
you
go.
ask that type of question, because would everybody say that that type of question is kind of a cheesy question? Would everybody kind of say that that's kind of an obvious thing? So the way you set this up, Angelo, where they don't feel like it's cheesy, is you just come out and say, now this is kind of a cheesy question, but on a scale of 1 to 10, one that it's really not for you, and 10 that, hey, this might be what you're looking for. Where would you rate yourself at? You see the difference? See, I'm taking the cheesy question out of their mind by saying, now this is kind of a cheesy question. See, I'm playful. Does that make sense? Now, this is kind of a cheesy question, but on a scale of 1 to 10, notice how my voice shifted down. Why did I shift my voice down like that?
To drop
Angela?
their guard a bit. So you're not sort of attacking it or, being too confrontational with that sort of question.
It's more of a serious tone, right? It's more of a like,
Yeah.
I'm concerned for you that if you don't do anything, nothing's going to change. So see the same thing. Well, this is kind of a cheesy question, but on a scale of 1 to 10, one that it's really not for you, and 10 that, hey, this could be what you're looking for. Where would you rate yourself at? You see the
Yeah.
difference. Now, if they come back and say, 1 through 5, now if they say 1 through 4, which would be really hard with what we trained you up into this, let's say you get that. Like, that's pretty low. Why so low? And you find out the concern. If they
Yeah.
say a 5 or a 6, you say, that's kind of in the middle. Why so in the middle? Because they have a concern. I want them to tell me. Is everybody getting this? If they say 7 or 8, I'm going to say, that's fairly high. Why so high? That's fairly high. Why so high? And now they start to tell you why they like it, but more importantly, they tell who?
Themselves.
Everybody getting this? Now, if they say 9, I was like, that's pretty high. Why so high? If they say 10, I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. That might be too high. Why'd you say a 10? Okay. And then they'll tell you why. But more importantly, who did they say?
Themselves.
You see the difference in that? See how I shift the tone? That's what we're going to teach you in the master training program. You see, did you notice the difference in that?
For sure.
Yeah. Who else noticed the difference in what I just did there? Type in me
Yep.
if you noticed a little bit of a difference in how that might work. Okay. Now, if you want to use a scale of 1 to 2, which you can, that's what we're going to we're going to show you some other things you would do to set that up before that. But that's
Yep.
how we're going to show you to do that. And then depending on what they do there, we'll show you what to do next. Now, there's a lot of other commitment questions we would show you to use, but if you want to go that route, we'll tweak it for you. Does that help? Okay, Joe, let's have
Absolutely.
you role play on Angelo. And Angelo, here's what I want you to do. After he tries to close you, I want you to throw out, how about, I don't know, maybe
What if we don't tell him and I just do it?
just throw out some objection, Angelo. I mean, would he even know the objections for your industry though? I guess he could throw out the standard ones.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, just to make it like, kind of challenge me a little bit.
Oh, so in the chats, type in the objection that Joe, Scout's Honor, you can't look at the chats.
I won't look.
In the chats, tell Angelo in the chats what objection he should give him when he tries to close him. Okay.
Yeah.
Make it hard. I need to talk to my neighbor's dog first. Don't use that one.
Will this work for somebody in Adelaide?
Oh, I love that. I love that. No, because he doesn't sell commercial insurance to anybody in Adelaide. It wouldn't work because he's in the US. Can't use that one.
Oh, hey, Jeremy, can I clarify something too? I saw it in the chat here because I sell multiple things. I don't want to confuse anyone. So it's like still insurance. Obviously, you and I partnered on some like B2B sales training, stuff like that. So I know some people were kind of confused on that, but wanted to clear that up.
No, commercial insurance. We always subcontract with some of our top clients to do some training on the side for sure for their industry specific stuff. We always will do that for sure. But his main gig is commercial insurance.
Yep.
Okay, so I think you've got an objection, Angelo. You ready?
Yeah, I'll pick one of them. Yeah.
All right, Joe, you're up. Everybody pay attention. Here we go.
All right, Angelo. So based on everything we covered, everything as far as like the coverages you mentioned, kind of the price point, I know we're looking at about 20,000 on a down payment and 14,000 monthly, based off everything for all your trucks. Right.
Okay.
So based off that, yep, that's kind of everything we covered. So the next steps from here would just be to put together, an agreement, have you authorize that, set up kind of the next steps, get you your certs, and we're good to go. So based off everything we covered, do you feel like this would be the answer for you?
I'm not too sure to be quite honest. Like what you said made sense, but yeah, just a bit uncertain.
Yeah, that's not a problem. Could I ask maybe what the uncertainty might be about, just so we're on the same page?
Yeah, I just think our budget at the moment probably wouldn't be aligned to the price point you said.
Okay, not a problem. Budget aside for just a second, do you feel like everything we put in place, including the coverage, including being able to be flexible with your trucks and your drivers, do you feel like that would work for you considering where you're at and not like because you're currently paying for trucks that are sitting?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess
You don't seem
put it that way.
entirely sure. Yeah, you don't seem entirely sure. Could I ask what's behind that?
Yeah, I just can't get over the budget side of things, to be honest, because cash flow has been a bit tight recently. So
yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I know. I mean, obviously, I know you have to have it in place, right? And you currently have, your renewal came back fairly high compared to what you're doing, what you were kind of looking in the first place. So I know kind of the budget isn't there. But aside from that, though, do you feel like the coverage though in place and everything we discussed would actually fit what you need if you had the budget?
yeah, I guess if you put it that way, yeah.
Okay. I'm not here to put it any certain way. Like, how do you feel personally?
Yeah, I think it would. I think it would work.
You don't sound entirely sure still. Is it like money aside? Is there something else like that might be kind of popping up for you from a coverage standpoint?
No, not at all. No, money aside, it works.
Okay. So in your mind, I guess knowing kind of what the budget is, the reality of like, obviously we have to have the insurance in place. And then your renewal came back a little higher. Based off where we're at, right? What do you feel you would need to leverage so you can actually put the coverage in place so we can get your trucks on the road right away so you can obviously continue to be in business?
Well, I think for one, I'd probably need to speak to my CFO,
That's not a
just
problem.
to sort of see on that side of things.
That's
But
if he were,
yeah,
if he were here right now, do you kind of have an idea of what he would say?
um, not particularly, no,
Okay.
to be quite honest.
No worries, worries. And I'm sure he wants to kind of look at the budget and everything else, going over everything. But do you feel like, confident in kind of your ability to kind of walk him through everything that we talked about that would really help you guys actually have your trucks covered at the coverage you need? Would that
Yeah,
help?
for sure. For sure. From an operational perspective,
Okay.
I can do that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, great. Do you feel there's any reason why he, would feel it wouldn't work, or what his main concern might be?
Um, no, I don't, besides budget, I think the actual solution itself works and he'll be fine with that because he'll take my direction there. It'll just be purely money.
Okay, purely on the money side. Okay. And kind of knowing that and knowing obviously with your renewal, is it he's hoping for some other quotes, or is it more just he just needs to look at what resources are we going to pull from, knowing obviously we have to have like coverage in place?
Yeah, more the second. What resources are we gonna have to pull to get in
Okay.
place?
Yeah, and I'm, not here to assume, right? I know you guys kind of look at your renewal every single year. Typically,
Yeah.
when you guys walk through these decisions, right, what does it look like from his perspective when he's like, "Hey, we got this." Like, what other resources or areas may he be able to leverage so you guys can actually have the coverage in place you need, and when drivers leave and stuff, you don't have trucks sitting and you still have to pay for the premium.
Yeah. Well, look, I think we do have an overdraft facility that we can probably look to use if that's where it gets to.
Yeah.
And we might have to tighten up a few of the other subscriptions that we've
Okay.
got going on.
Yeah. Have you guys like been in positions like that before?
Not really. Not since we first started the business, no.
Okay. Okay. So you being let's say you are able to kind of pull from some of the resources, you have that conversation with him and that goes well. Would you be against me being part of that conversation? So make sure he totally understands what we've walked through?
No, man, not at all.
Okay. So let's say we do that, we have a great conversation. What do you guys feel would be the next step from there, knowing all your other renewals and quotes came back higher?
I think it makes sense for us to go ahead.
Okay. Where would you like to proceed
Okay,
from here?
perfect. Perfect. Let's stop there because that typically, correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, but in your space, you probably really wouldn't get that objection because his renewal came in from another company like way higher. So
Yeah, yeah. So
probably
typically,
wouldn't.
I mean, it's not about the budget because they have to do it. It's like required by the
Right.
government.
So,
So I apologize you didn't have that
It's
context, but
required by the government here. You have to have it. So
right. Okay. Okay.
yeah, but there's always something in place. So that's why
Yep.
it's basically me versus whatever else they have. Right.
Sure.
But it's
Sure.
still, they
Okay.
still check things. They still check what typically will happen is they'll be trying to like go back and see if the numbers really make sense or whatever. So that will still happen. They'll talk to the CFO, but I just want to get an idea of kind of where your head's at. And if you feel like confident to have that conversation and then introduce myself to be in that conversation.
Yep.
yeah, and sometimes with the size of companies he's obviously selling to, it's
Yeah, these are
required by
enterprise.
bylaws. Yeah, they're enterprise, so it's by the bylaws they have to go through like everything legal, the board. So it's like he's just gonna close, like throw you over and just close you without going through the CO because by the bylaws they have to, if that makes
Right.
sense,
Right.
over in
Got it.
America.
Got it.
So did you
Yeah.
see a few things that he did because he was trying to find out really what was the real concern? Because obviously by law you have to have it. Your renewals came in way higher. So he's trying to find out, I'm assuming, Joe, if they're looking at like other vendors, other quotes, I'm assuming, right?
Hmm.
Does that make sense, Angelo?
Yeah,
Now,
For sure.
one thing that he could have done as well, because how much money would they be, how much money would they be losing right now by having a bunch of trucks just sitting there in their parking lot that aren't able to ship goods to their
Yeah.
customers?
Yeah. Net profit per truck is about 15 to 20 grand a year. Right. So like if they have like 10 trucks sitting like, per quarter, I mean, think of it, that could be like 150 grand they're not making just off 10 trucks.
Yeah, so they're losing like 150,000. Like it could be like a month or every 2 months. So
Yeah.
for them to pay $20,000 to not lose 150 every month. So
Mhm.
he might even go into like, well, it just really depends on, which one you feel is more expensive because is it more expensive to, to be able to get the funding together, you get these trucks back on the road, so you get this $150,000 from the trucks not being parked, or is it more expensive to, kind of keep being forced to pay those, rate hikes from your previous company, and now these other trucks keep sitting on the parking lot, and you lose another 150,000. I mean, in reality, which is costing you more. That's a comparative frame. You might even go that route. Does that help everybody? What'd you get from that, Angelo?
I think tone for sure was really good, and he
What'd you
dug
notice
deeper
through
when
that?
just that no matter what I said, even though I was giving a few sort of bullshit responses, that the tone didn't change. He circled back every time I'd just say money, 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 as opposed to skimming over and trying to get past it without actually uncovering what the real need was.
Yeah. Yeah, and he found out what's really going on. And did you see
Yeah.
what he did? Let's say that you have that conversation with your CEO and everything checks off on as far as it'll do X and X and X. What do you see as the next step from there? Now, Joe, why would we teach you how to ask that question? Why would we teach you how to set that up that way? What does that do?
Yeah, because sometimes it's like time kills deals and time allows uncertainty to brew. So I'm helping like I want to hear the solidification in their mind of like they clearly see the next steps. And it's almost like they just self-incriminate into like, yeah, this actually makes sense. And there's like that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Angela, does that help?
For sure. Thank you,
Okay.
boys.
Before you get on here, were you a winger, dabbler, or a know-it-aller?
A dabbler, for sure.
Okay. Are you ready to change that?
Absolutely.
Okay. You ready to commit to mastery, getting the plan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We ain't going to give you a discount well, we already gave you 85% off. We ain't going to give you a discount just because you're friends with Anthony. So don't even ask. All right. Give it up. Everybody congratulations.
And
Angelo.
Jeremy, just a quick one. Loving the hair today and the last 3 days. Looking good, man.
Well, it's better than having bad hair. There you go. When you learn how to sell, you can get better hairspray. Joe, congratulations on your results. Like 0.01 top salesperson in your industry. Congratulations. We love you. Everybody get it for Joe and Angelo. Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you.
Well, hey, I wanted to congratulate. We had like another 50 or 60 people that just got started. Marco Carmel, Colton Whitehead, Matthew Mahoney, Alex Mix, Angelo Rinker. They're coming in. Congratulations. We had like 50 some people that just got started like in the last 10 or 15 minutes. Camilo Oliveira, Wesley Walsh, Gurabash. I can't pronounce your name, from Arkansas. William K. Johnson. That's an easy one for me. Leslie Labar, Josh
Derek,
Warren,
Samuel, Chase, Ismail, Michael, Calvin Klein himself.
Jonathan Scott, Darren Morano, Brian Goldberg, Rexford Cutrax, Michael Burns, Brooks Mickelson, David Gallagher, Derek Litton, Samuel Armstrong. Who hasn't got started? That's what I want to know. Who hasn't got started in APQ Mastery? Because I'm like, what's going on? I think about 60, 70% of the people have on here. What's holding the other people back here? Because I know that they're not like everybody else out there that couldn't give a damn about learning how to master these skills. Because here's the thing, Anthony, we all know this. What happens at the end of this after this 3-day event? What happens when we log off the computer, when we get off the phone? Well, we have to go back to work tomorrow. We have to sell tomorrow. We have to get on the phone. We have to get in person. We have to get on Zoom. And who's going to outsell people who's going to sell the most? People with the plan or people who don't have the plan? That's the difference.
The plan 100% of the time, Jeremy. We know this.
We all know this. This is what companies tell us anyways, from their salespeople that are certified in PQ compared to the ones that are not. It's not even it's like a 2 to 3 to 1 difference in most cases. All right, Anthony, how are we going to wrap this up? People have questions. Let's go ahead and keep that getting.
Well, I want to do a Q&A because my mind is blown for the past 3 days, but I know some people have questions. Now, a couple of people were saying, how do I speak to someone? I've got literally a team right now in a Zoom room ready to speak to you. So if you've got questions about getapq.com, if you haven't got started yet and you need some clarification, or if you need help walking through the funding, then go to apq.io/chat or scan the QR code and you'll join the room and then come back in here after. Okay, should we do some Q&A, Jay? I'm ready to answer some questions.
Man, my brain is fried, guys. Congratulations. I love all you guys.
Isn't this been fun? Well, wait, let me just see. Does anyone want us to stay back? Are you guys learning something? Have you leveled up the past 3 days? Just type me in the chat. Light up that freaking chat box. Otherwise, me and Jeremy are jumping off. All right.
Yeah, I mean, what's going on here? Shishky box, man. Here we are, end of day 3 again. Well, who's got some questions? Where's the best place to start in the mastery for life insurance? So Sam, did you book your assessment call already? There should be a link where they booked their assessment call, right? It should be in your email where they booked the assessment call. Just when you book the assessment call with the industry specific specialist, I'm assuming that's in there with the login information. Just ask the industry specific specialist because they'll need to know where your bottlenecks are at. Because I don't know where your bottlenecks are, because it almost be like, let's say your car breaks down and you drive it into the mechanic and you're like, you throw him the keys. You're like, hey, fix my car. What's the mechanic going to say? I don't know what's wrong with the car. So when you book the assessment call, the specialist will kind of do some role playing with you, and they'll kind of see where in your conversations you might be losing the most deals. And they'll just point out like, hey, you're going to start writing this section first. Because if we fix this, like, you might double like pretty quick. So make sure you book that assessment call for sure. 100%.
Marcus Tillman says, totally thought all this was pre-recorded. You're right, Marcus. This is pre-recorded. We're not even real.
We're not even real, man.
It's all fake. It's all AI.
It's all fake. It's paid actors or AI or something. I don't know.
CGI. You're correct. Smart man. Smart man.
But let's pretend it was recorded, pre-recorded. Would that really matter to you guys? Would it matter? Would it be the same information? I know we all say like, oh my gosh, it's a pre-recorded thing, but isn't the training the same, whether it was pre-recorded or live? Remember, Marcus, I love you. I'm going to be hard on you. I'm going to Tony Robbins you. That's always said about Tony Robbins you is like, hey, are we focused on our lack? Or are we focused on the fortune? Yeah, well, it is live, but let's say it was pre-recorded. Who cares? Get the same training. There you go. I love that. You're smart. Perfect. As long as it works, if I commit, I don't care. That's right, Jennifer. Congratulations. Pennies, yeah.
Lack or fortune? How many of you at the end of day 3 are still carrying some stacks of pennies in front of your eyes that are preventing you from seeing your fortune? Everyone that committed to mastery yesterday removed their pennies. But I know some of you still have some of these bad boys in front of your eyes. How much is this penny costing you? Think about it. How much is it costing you? Time to remove the pennies. Yeah. I know you're a smart person.
Nate asked, real estate objection. I have a realtor already. Nate, you know what are you in the plan, Nate? Because you could just go ask me in the Ask Jeremy AI that question. And I'm pretty sure it's going to answer for you right away, like in about 20 seconds for your industry. Did you get in, Nate? I hope you did for your sake, because it's all there, like everything you would. So typically, if the question I want to first ask you is what would trigger the person to even say that to you automatically? Because I'm assuming you're getting that off calling like expired listings, or maybe you're knocking on doors, or because real estate is our second biggest earner train. So depend on the context. If you're knocking or calling, I'm going to immediately discern them like, oh yeah, that's pretty normal. And just so you're aware, I'm not quite sure we can even help you yet. We'd have to know a little bit more about like the property you have that's up for sale, and kind of how many showings the realtors, got for you compared to maybe where you're wanting that to be and the price point, because maybe you're better off staying with who you already have. Like who are you actually with right now? Just so I understand. So I'm just going to disarm, and then I'm going to loop back around and ask that first situation question. Now there's a lot more after that you got to do. And you can just go in. The training program is going to teach you, but you can also go into the AI and just keep prompting it. It's just going to keep answering that and showing you what to do next. Hopefully that helps you. Who got the AI? Who's ready for the AI? Is everything in here? And the cool thing is, type in me if you are. The cool thing is, you know what? Every training we do gets put in that AI every week. Even this 3-day event will be put into AI. Everything, every word out of my mouth gets put in there. So like every new industry specific inner circle mastery, like level 6 and level 7 training programs that we do every single week, the training calls I do week, I'd probably do 12 hours of training calls every week, plus podcasts, plus events, everything. So every week it just keeps getting fed and fed and fed. I'm going to do that for at least the next 10 years because I actually really like doing that. So then we'll get about 50,000 hours in there or so. Just a lot. Be fun. Okay, what else?
Question here from Michael Johnston. Have you used this in Dubai? I'm not an expert.
It won't work in Dubai. It's the only place on earth that any PQ will not work. So if you're in Dubai, do not get into the mastery program, because the only place that humans do not, it just won't work in Dubai. Yeah, just everywhere else it works,
man.
but just it just doesn't work in Dubai. I mean, I can tell you what our clients in Dubai would tell you. You probably know the answer.
Got a real estate client from Dubai right now, crushing it. She's part of our mastery training programs.
She's in level 6 certification. That's why we know her, because those are very small groups that Anthony and I do each week. Very, very small industry specific stuff, high level. So she has crushed it. Yeah, 100%. Tons of others. So to answer your question, we're pretty much in every country at this point. Okay, every industry. Is anybody going to ask me, will it work for my industry like you guys did
Will it
yesterday?
work for North Carolina? Absolutely not, William. Don't even bother.
Nope. North Carolina, nope. Every state but North Carolina, those Tar Heels down there. Okay, real talk. Are there folks who go through the master class and still don't succeed? What, in your opinion, causes them to not succeed? Stacy, the question is that what's behind your question? Because remember, I talked about patterns that I had in my life where I was always looking for an out. That was my freaking pattern. Even though I knew I should do it, I knew I should get into that training when I was 22 years old, because it was going to probably quadruple my income. I still didn't do it. So it was a sign from God. It was a sign from God that I shouldn't do it. That was my freaking pattern. Is that what's behind your question? Is you're looking for a reason why it won't work? Are there people who go through the training who don't get the results they want? I'm assuming there's probably a few because they never log in. Now, would there be a reason why we have a bit under 41,000 testimonials from our clients in the last few years? What would that possibly tell you? From every industry, including yours. Because what causes a person not to succeed, Anthony, when they have the knowledge right in front of them? What would cause them not to succeed?
Not everybody shows up and puts in the work and takes action.
People don't necessarily show up and don't take action. Most of our clients do. We have a very, very high through rate of people going through the portal because you guys are committed to mastery. But there will be a few that will slip through the cracks and never use the training at all, never do anything with it because they never committed to mastery. But Stacy, are you committed to mastery? Because if you commit to mastery and you follow through and you learn the skills and you follow through what we tell you to do, like my mentor once told me, it's pretty damn hard to fail at that point when you have the right skills. Does anybody know anybody who failed, who had the right skills to succeed and actually followed through and did it? I don't know anybody who fails who do those two things. You have the right skills, you take action. I don't know anybody that fails. You guys getting this? Hopefully that answers your question, Stacy. I'm being sarcastic tonight because I'm hungry. I need a Snickers bar. All right. What else do we have?
Michael Johnson again. I'm from the Gold Coast, Australia. Hey, I lived in the Gold Coast for 2 years, just moved back to Adelaide. And I'm deciding to move to Dubai. I'm committed to mastery. Hey, good job. Well done. Guys, if you have questions,
committed to mastery, that's smart.
Say what you sell and the question. So I sell this. My question is this. And we can answer some specific questions for you.
How would commit to mastery apply to immigrant communities? I would need to know more context behind that question. I don't understand the question on that. Will it work in Southern California? Because people are weird here, Jennifer. Jennifer, do you want me to buy into that story?
I think Jennifer's just teasing you now, Jay.
Okay.
You're just getting teased. I knew it, Jennifer.
I had that Snickers bar, Jennifer. You're trying to trigger me over there. I'm not going to buy into that story. I love Southern California. You're kidding me, guys. What else we got here?
Alex.
Now, hold on. I got a thing here, Anthony. I got to say this.
Yeah.
You know that saying. Now, Jennifer, I know you're joking. So this is not you, Jennifer. I'm not talking about you, Jennifer. You know that saying that you can never ask a dumb question? Well, that is true. You can't ask dumb questions. So make sure you guys ask me good questions because I want to help you. Make sure you ask me a good question. Okay, here we go. Roofing.
Got a question from Alex. I sell ecom. How would you frame an outbound call in the beginning? Alex, is that outbound as in inbound lead came in? You're calling the lead, or is it a cold call? But let's say you're just calling a lead that opted in to learn the skills to start their own business. We would frame it like this. Hey, Jeremy. Yeah, Jeremy, it's Anthony. Anthony Vazzari, looks like you recently reached out about possibly getting some help starting your own business. Is that right?
Right.
That's how we'd frame it. Familiar
First
tone.
connection.
First connection question. Curiosity.
Yep.
That's what we'll do
100%.
for an inbound lead, calling that lead.
Yeah, you're in the offer space. It's probably a top 25 space that we train as well. It's a huge industry we train as well. So there's other connection questions you got to ask out of that, but Anthony did it beautifully. That's the frame that you'd start it with, the familiar tone. We're going to teach you how to actually get the familiar tone because you got to learn how to do that. Because here's a problem that a lot of people do is they try to role play. Who do you guys role play on? Let me type that in the chat. Who do you guys role play on? Like your sales? Somebody tell me, who do you role play with when you're practicing sales? Who do you role play with? Somebody type in the chat. Who do you role play with? I want to know. My mates, AI. Okay. Have your mates or has your spouse or your cousins or some of the salespeople in your company you role play with, have they mastered selling? Probably not. So if you're role playing with people who haven't mastered selling themselves, what type of feedback are you probably going to get? Maybe not the right feedback to really help you that much, right? So smart people, the smartest, right? What they want to role play with people who've mastered it, right? Because that gives you the right feedback. You guys getting this? Okay, what else question? What other we got? What other we got?
How do you disarm a customer that comes in very cold? I sell face-to-face timeshares.
Well,
it's
the
from
question
Angelo.
is, what is triggering them to come in cold? I need more context on that. Did they come in cold because they were like high pressure to even do the meeting and they're a little bit down? That could be it.
Yeah.
Okay. Timeshare is a big space that we train as well. So it depends on what they say. So when we remember on day one, we taught you connection questions. We started to give you an overview of 3 things. Take the focus off them, take the focus off you, put on them. What was the second thing we talked about? How to disarm the prospect to let their guard down. So the connection questions we would teach you for your industry specifically do that. Start to disarm them. And there's other techniques that we'll teach you if they don't open up eventually. But one, eventually, now you're going to have to know everything before this. This isn't going to work if you just randomly do it, right? That would be what a dabbler does. I might lean in and say, can I ask you something, Angie? And just, this is between you and I, it's off the record. It's really holding you back from getting started. If that was something holding them back, or what's the real reason that you came in here to talk to us? See, my tone was down in that concern tone. Now, I'd have to know more context before that because I'd tie that in better. But we're going to teach you stuff in the beginning, connection questions, where you probably wouldn't even have to use what I just did. Hopefully that helps them. There's a lot more.
And one more thing to add, we actually teach this on the weekly phase breakdown calls that me and Jeremy run. So we would actually, for timeshare, we would show how to identity frame them as they walk in to lower their guard. We might say, hey, Angela, I just want to say how refreshing it is to speak to someone like you that's so open. You'd be surprised. Sometimes we run these and everyone in the room is just so cold, closed off, skeptical, and they just don't even have a conversation. Obviously, those people that aren't willing to open up, well, what do they miss out on?
Yeah, so there's different frames we could show you as well, but we'd have to know more context about how they're coming in. Is it a seminar? Is there a bunch of people? We'd have to know more context. We would do that. Somebody said they'll sell the Rolex to get in the training. Well, Marcus, go sell the Rolex right now because you've got 48 hours to get in the training. So you better get on it, brother. Go sell your Rolex, because is the Rolex more valuable to you or your skill level for the rest of your life? Which is going to make you more sales? Because once you learn the right skills, you can probably buy what? Well, you make a lot more sales. You force your company to have to what? Pay you more. And when your company's forced to pay you more, then you have more money for what? I guess more watches, if that's your cup of tea. There you go.
And the question I have, I'm not picking on anybody here, but this is important because I used to think this way as well. Is the question I would have is, what's the point in having a Rolex? Like, what are you trying to prove if you don't have the funds to even get in the training, or you don't see that as a necessity? What's more important to you? See, there's so many people out there, they spend thousands of dollars on a watch, thousands of dollars on a shoes, thousands of dollars on a handbag, thousands of dollars on brand new clothes, on things that don't bring you anything. They don't bring you any future, but how much have you invested in your skills that are going to ultimately allow you to buy those things? So it comes down to priorities. What's more important to you? To look fancy or have the skills to actually crush it and create the life you deserve?
Yeah, because when you have the right skills, you don't have to fake it anymore, guys. You can get anything you want. There's no more faking, no more trying to look good. I guarantee you have the right skills and you force your company to pay you 3, 4, 5, 6 times more than what you're doing. Eventually, you won't even care what other people think because you have certainty. And right now, you don't have a lot of certainty. That's why you're buying that stuff instead of investing in your skills. Would we be right on that? I'm not going to buy into that story at all because how can I help you sell more if I did? Get the funding together. GettingPQ.com. You already know this works. Don't let the brain trick you this time like it's done in the past and hold you back from getting what's rightfully yours. You guys ready? Go right now. GettingPQ.com. Let's go to another question here.
James Stoves. I work in automotive and ancillary products. How would you handle the objection? I've never had it. I've never needed it in the past. How do you overcome that objection? I've never had this. I've never needed it in the past. That's his largest bottleneck.
I'm not understanding the objection. Auto industry is the 4th largest industry we train. He's talking about selling a car that they never need it, never. I don't understand. I don't understand the objection.
Automotive, FI, and ancillary products. James, give us a bit more clarity on the
question. Give us more clarity and context. I mean, automotive is the 4th largest space we train, but there's a lot of subcategories in automotive. Well, solar, Ishmael, no thank you. How would you respond to that? Well, Ishmael, can I ask you something? What do you feel like you're saying or asking or how you're saying it that's triggering that objection that quickly at the door? Get in the training. We're going to show you what you're doing wrong. Solar is a huge industry we train. In fact, 3 of the 5 top salespeople. Oh, my camera just went out. Oh, no, we're back. I think 3 of the 5 top salespeople in all of the solar industry, from what I understand right now, 3 of the top 5 solar salespeople in the entire industry are in our level 5 through level 7 certification mastery programs. That's why they're at the top now. You probably want to get in there if you want to sell a lot more solar for sure. So the question is, what are you saying that's triggering that reaction? Because did the prospect plan that out when you knocked on the door? And I don't know if you sell virtually. It's a little bit different. Well, they wouldn't show up virtually and say that. That would make sense. So I know you sell door to door. Door to door was the first industry I sold. I still hold, I think, most of the records in the alarm industry. It was 4-month summer programs. I installed like 425 alarms in one 4-month summer. No year-round program then, just one summer. I know a lot about door to door. So there's things you're saying that are triggering that reaction. Because did they wake up that morning like, when that solar salesperson knocks on my door at 3:45 today, I think I'm going to go in fight or flight mode and say, no, thank you. Did they plan that out? Or was that a triggered reaction based off something you were saying or how you're saying it that triggered that reaction? Does that make sense? Okay. So we're going to teach you how to disarm them. Oh, yeah. And just so you know, I might not even be able to help you at all. Just so you know, I'd have to know, I guess, a little bit about kind of, what I guess your utility company's forcing you to pay as far as what that looks like, because maybe you're better off saying with already them. Who do you use now? Like if I'm selling in Texas, it's going to be a little bit different than if I'm selling where there's no monopoly in a different state where there is monopolies. Mm-hmm. So Ishmael, you're smart. I know you are. Are you going to let the mind play tricks on you and hold you back from getting in the training? Yes or no? Go right now, gettingpq.com. Everything, you literally go in the AI and ask 27 questions tonight and be on the doors tomorrow and sell more. I love you. Get in there right now.
GetNEPQ.com.
I
got a good question here. Hasnain Jelani, I got a question for you guys. I feel scared to talk to people on cold call, but do it some way. How do I overcome my fear of talking to people? So let me answer this and then Jeremy, give your take.
Yeah.
So last week on the weekly session, I had somebody jump on. They were brand new. They had just committed to mastery. They said the exact same thing. Anthony, I'm afraid to take cold calls. They hadn't called a lead in 3 weeks. They didn't call a single lead in 3 weeks because they were afraid. I don't know how you're supposed to live if you don't call leads, by the way. So I made it very clear that the reason they were afraid is they didn't know what to say and they didn't know what to respond when the prospect responds. So I trained them on the live session you guys have access to every single week, 52 sessions a year. I showed them exactly what to say and I made them role play in front of everybody. And then I got a message yesterday. I want to read this. His name is Kainoa Lanksy. Sent me a message yesterday at 2:49 p.m. As promised, Anthony, coming back to you with progress. I'm calling my leads. I did some cold calls, and off my first 4 cold calls after our session, I scheduled 4 out of 4 of those calls. Momentum with bicep emoji. 4 out of 4 from the people he connected with after jumping off the session and learning the skills.
Yeah. Guys, what's holding you back? What would have happened to that young man if he didn't get in the training? He would already be gone from sales. Do you see what commitment to mastery, learning the right skills does? This is serious stuff. This affects your family not having the right skills. Would you agree with that? Yes or no? Because the only reason why, and Ishmael, I'm really happy that you brought that up because it takes a lot of courage to say, hey, I'm scared, man. Thank you for removing your mask and opening up. Anthony's 100% accurate. The only reason we're scared to do anything is because we lack what? The knowledge of how to do it. If somebody said, hey, you got to come in here and do brain surgery, your best friend's going to die, you'd probably be a little bit nervous and scared because you don't have what? The right skills to do the surgery. But would a neurosurgeon who's committed to mastery, who went through years of medical schools, who studied for the masters, would that person have fear to do it? No. They'd have complete certainty because they learned the right skills. Are you getting this? Why would we feel like sales would be any different than any other profession where we don't really need to learn the right skills and somehow we're going to succeed? We'd have to be a crazy person to think that, right? We all know that, right? So Ishmael, when you get in the training here and you learn what to say and you learn the tonality that we're going to teach you, guess what that gives you? It gives you certainty. Certainty. And do you feel like you're going to be afraid anymore? No, because you know what to do and it actually works. Is everybody getting this? Type in me if you're starting to understand this. Ishmael, so well done. Ishmael, you're getting into the training right now, I'm assuming, right? Because we all know, like, what happens if you don't? How are you going to have that certainty without the skills? So Ishmael, I'm assuming you're getting the training. Get in the training right now, brother. I want to help you. We want to help you. Okay,
Ishmael got in. Well done, Ishmael.
Well done. Smart person. We got Megan Kennedy just got started. Jesus Nuez, Ryan Cordick, Jessica Cambrose, Estella Unger, Peter George. Another 6 or 7 just came in a couple minutes ago. Congratulations. Well done for you guys. Where's everybody else coming? I think over half of you have already got started. Where's everybody else? What's holding you back? What's holding you back? Come on.
All right,
now.
Jay.
What are we going to do? This is it. Now, we did extend it. We're going to give you guys 48 more hours. But hey, those who are committed to mastery, when do they take action, Anthony? Now. Today. Remember I said that yesterday? Today's the day. Today's the day. When's the best time to implement anything or change our situation? Now. We're not going to be like everybody else and push it down the road and say, one day I'm going to do it. Someday I'll learn how to do it, because we all know where those prospects go, don't we? When your prospects say that one day they're going to do it, where do they go? They go nowhere. We all know that. That's the path that leads to nowhere. And you're different. Today's the day. Okay. Put down something, at least if it needs you a couple of days to get the funding, put down something, get in the Zoom room, put down something. Are we still running these Zooms, or do we take care of everybody, Anthony?
Breakout rooms still open. QR code npq.io/chats. Let us help you walk through it so that you can get started. And I'm going to be crystal clear. Yes, we extended it, But if anybody this always happens every time we run a challenge. I always get somebody message me on Monday or Sunday. Hey, Anthony, I know you extended it. I just got the funds. Can I do it now? We can't. The answer is no. Like for compliance reasons, we just can't do it. And that wouldn't be fair to everybody else that committed. So getnepq.com, get started now. Like Jeremy said, when's the best time to plant a tree? Probably 100 years ago. But when's the next best time? It's today, not tomorrow.
Like Alex said, identity frame. Yeah, Alex, for sure. Am I doing that to you or for you? Do you want me to build you into the identity of the person who is committed to mastery, who actually succeeds, or to keep you where you're at? Because I can't do both. I offer you no value if I can't train you and help you get in the training. I just wasted your time, and I'm not willing to do that, and neither is Anthony. You want to learn those skills as well, Alex? Get into the training right now. Go there right now. All right, who else? 9090. Is that it? Yes, I want to learn. All right, the other reason, let's go. What else? Is that it? Are we good?
The only reason
somebody
I'm not joining...
said, who's that? Pull that one up here. Pete, pull that thing up here.
Peter Sprague?
Let's pull it up. Yeah, pull it up.
All right, there we go. Peter Sprague.
I'm not signed up yet as I'm joining AIL with Spencer Kozes and Brandon Bennett, and they advised me they would teach me everything I need to know. That being said, I don't even know who those people are.
I love it if you want to join the mastery program to truly master these skills. Yeah, I've never heard of them. Brandon Bennett.
Oh.
No idea.
Well, that's one of our, I think that's one of our affiliates, but they wouldn't have our mastery training program. Or do they? Yeah. I know Spencer. Yeah.
Is that Spencer we met in Miami?
Yeah, you probably did like an affiliate. Well,
yes.
You'd probably want to get in and train with us for sure. We love Spencer.
Aren't they one of our placement partners, Jeremy?
They're one of our placement partners. They're one of the employers that hire people. Now, I want to make sure you understand. You probably want to get in there because they don't hire people who aren't certified in NEPQ that want to get to that level. You got to get certified, dude. They're one of our placement partners. The reason why they have us place people with them who are certified is because they outsell people who are not certified in NEPQ. So you probably want to get in because how do you want to be viewed by Spencer and his team? You want to be viewed as the person that just kind of dabbles, or do you want to be viewed as the leader who actually invests in their own skill level and actually goes out and performs? Which leader is going to move up quicker? Which person? We already know the answer. Get in there. Who have anybody else? Is that it?
I think that's it. I got one more. Sam Armstrong. I'm in life insurance. I call outbound leads. My illogical fear is calling someone and interrupting their day. What is the best way to disarm them so they want to talk to me?
Can I answer that real quick? And then
go ahead, Jay.
Okay,
I know exactly what you're going to say.
Are they going to die? Yes or no? Is their family going to die? Is their spouse or them going to die? Yes or no? Sam. Yes or no? Yeah, they are. So it's not if they die, it's when they die. And can you imagine in the next life, if they could have had financial protection simply because you called them and learned the skills and helped them have financial like resources when one spouse dies and the rest of the family is financially protected forever, compared to when one spouse dies, you didn't call them, they don't have the right coverage, and now maybe Cindy and the kids are forced to sell the house, move in with the in-laws or other parents, move the kids from other schools. She has to go back and get 2 jobs. See, selling is not something you do to people. Selling is something you do for people. So think about that next time and feel that, because those people need you. Because if you don't do it, who is? Think about that next time. Somebody's going to pass away in that family, and it's going to leave the rest of the family with no financial means. and you could have prevented that from happening. I want you to think about that next time, because I know you got an insurance for the right reason. I hope that helped you. Anthony, I think we're ready to roll. I've got to eat a Snickers bar. We've got Aiden in here and Evan, and they're getting upset. They need Snickers bars as well. Like, everybody's hungry. We need some dinner. They're like, man, everybody's got some questions. Like, we need to eat some food.
No eating. Aiden, Evan, no eating, guys.
No eating, guys.
24-hour shift.
We made him work 24 hours today. 24 hours. Well, here we are.
I'm teasing. I'm going to get reported, Jeremy. Well, you can't report me because I'm in Australia, so good luck.
We won't tell HR.
Yeah, don't tell them. All right, so let's do this, guys. Can we please give Jeremy a massive round of applause? Who learned something today? Who was it worth $1? Was it worth $1 to be here over the past 3 days to experience what true mastery is when it comes to selling? Give me a hell yeah in the chat, and let's give Jeremy Miner a massive round of applause.
I'm having a hard time dancing the song.
Give us a move, Jay. What are you doing?
Too slow for it.
There he is.
Hey, I want everybody to give it up for Anthony now. Has everybody been seeing how much Anthony's poured into you guys, throwing down massive knowledge, helping you guys maybe get over some limiting beliefs and some patterns that have been disturbing? Like, everybody give it up. Everybody give it up. The fire emoji for Mr. Anthony over here. He's been crushing it for you guys. Waking up early over there. Everybody give it up for Mr. Biz, B-I-Z-Z, the Bizster. We got a new nickname. Mr. Biz. Mr. Biz.
It's better than the way you pronounce the full one. Let's go with that. The Biz.
Mr. Biz. Mr. Biz. All right, baby. Well, here we are. This is
All right, Jay. You get out of here. You get some food. One more time, everybody, for Jeremy Miner. Give it up. See you, Jay.
All right, baby. We love you guys. Let's go.
All right. All right, everybody. As we wrap up the final day of the 3-day challenge, I am going to assign some homework for the committed people that are here. I'm going to give you some homework right now because I want to see how everybody wraps up. Your homework is to post a video in the WAP community. What's your biggest takeaway from the full 3 days? What pennies or beliefs did you leave behind? And what are you now committed to mastering and why? Post that in the chat. We will be checking them out. So make sure you guys post that. And also make sure you're in the WAP community because Jeremy's actually going live tomorrow. So make sure you stay in the WAP community, you engage, and we are back to the 15 coaching sessions like normal now that the event is over inside the WAP community. So I want to hear from all of you right now. What's your biggest takeaway? What's your biggest takeaway after these 3 days? Pop it in the chat for me. What's your biggest takeaway in as short words as possible? What's your biggest takeaway? How are we feeling? What's your biggest takeaway after these 3 days? Pop it in the chat for me. Let's go. I'm asking the wrong question, says Keegan. Tonality, identity framing, committing to mastery, making the commitment, no more penny. I love that. Confidence. I love that. Tyler says, I have pennies in my eyes. Tyler, not anymore. You remove the pennies from your eyes because you saw them. Remember, if you can't see it, you can't seize it. Remove those pennies and you can seize that fortune. Everybody has pennies in their eyes until they make a decision to remove them. And all success starts with a decision. And let me ask you all a question. If I have this in front of me, which is an orange, right? Let's say I've got an orange and I squeeze it. What comes out? What comes out of the orange? Like squeeze an orange, what will come out? Orange juice. Why does orange juice come out? Because of what reason? Because it's what's on the inside. So as we wrap up the final 3 days, the question I have for you is, what happens when you get squeezed? What happens when you have an opportunity to take your life to the next level? What happens when you're on a sales call and you get squeezed with an objection? What comes out of you? Is it fear? Is it anxiety? Is it stress? Is it overwhelm? Is it worry? Is it self-doubt? Because it can't come out unless it's on the inside. Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? So that is why it's so important to be surrounded by a community like this It's so important to have advanced training where you show up every single week with people playing life at a higher level than you, so we can fill yourself up with the things that you want to come out, like the certainty, the conviction, the confidence, the belief, the fortune. So now is your moment as we wrap up. What's going to keep coming out of you? Is it the fear and the anxiety? Or are you going to get nepq.com and commit to mastering selling, commit to learning the skill set that will serve you in your entire life? So what comes out is what's on the inside. Now is your moment. I do want to say you all are amazing. Thank you for being here for the past 3 days. I know you leveled up. I know you are going to commit to mastery. And I do want to thank our amazing team. Do you understand what goes on in the background? Do you understand what goes on in the background to make this happen? We have so many amazing people from our marketing team, our CX team, our operations team, our legal team, compliance team. So many amazing human beings. We got Maite here. We got Victoria. We got Max. We got everybody. We got Evan. We got so many names. I can't name everybody right now, but please give everybody a massive thank you. Now is your moment. Go off, decide. We extended it till midnight on Saturday. PST, get nepq.com, commit to mastery. Breakout room is still open. Go here if you need to speak to somebody, and we'll see everybody on the other side. So one more time, give yourself a massive round of applause, everybody. Commit to mastery. I look forward to training you over the next 12 months. Now is your moment. Commit to mastery. Do it now. Do it today. Don't wait till tomorrow. You're welcome, everyone. Bye for now. Goodbye, everybody.
This